Get nasty on Wednesday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. We've got Brad Thompson coming up in about 10 minutes or so.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, live from Atlanta. It's our weekly chat with BT. Unfortunately, it's following a 4-1 loss as the Braves take the series from the Cardinals. They had won last night. Of course, we can't have nice things, boys. We follow a loss today in which the bullpen, once again,
I have never
blew it.
Well,
that hadn't happened yet.
Was it the bullpen or one specific piece of the bullpen?
Well,
Anthony?
one specific. I mean,
He's a
there's
team
always
player.
one specific piece of.
And this piece has been there quite a bit there this
What'd
year.
you call him?
Yeah, this piece.
Oh.
Well, who
What'd
are
you
you
think I
referring to?
said?
JoJo Romero or Ryan Fernandez? Because they both stunk again today.
Well,
JoJo wasn't bad, was
JoJo
he?
wasn't terrible.
JoJo gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned in
But
his
the 2 hits,
third.
They gave up the 2 hits, but the 2 runs on JoJo's scorecard
from
are
Ryan.
because Fernandez gave up a dinger again.
Who put the
JoJo
runners on?
Okay, let's put no runners on.
Yeah.
Fernandez goes in, gives up the dinger. You're still losing.
Then we can blame Ryan Fernandez.
I did that, Carey.
I see what you did.
But for now, JoJo Romero hasn't been good either. This bullpen has.
I don't
has
want
not
you
been good.
talking ill of JoJo. I like JoJo.
I know you do.
Yeah. He hasn't been good, though.
No, he hasn't. I know a lot of people blame Ollie. This is his roster.
I've got to blame Ollie a little bit.
For what?
Rolling that out.
Misusing guys that stink out of his pen?
Misusing professional players.
Why does
They
he have to
are
go to those
professional
specific
athletes.
players?
Well, who else you gonna go
Most
to?
of them stink. Right now. They do. Your bullpen's not good.
The way Fernandez is pitching this year, I don't know if he'd see the bump for me at all, period. At all. He has been the biggest adventure, that's being kind, all year long from the bullpen.
Who do you want to see more of? Kyle Leahy? John King?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Exactly. This is the problem. The front office is keeping guys on the roster that aren't performing.
Oh, who?
Who?
What else you gonna do?
JoJo Romero, Ryan Fernandez.
I know who. Who else are you going to go to?
That's what I just asked that of Jamie.
I don't know anybody else at this point.
Kyle Leahy's been pretty nails this year.
Okay, well, he pitched today.
Yeah, he's at a 1.72 ERA this season in 13 games.
Yeah, Anthony.
He pitched.
He pitched well.
Yeah.
John King gave up a couple hits earlier. I don't know what you want from them, Anthony.
What I want?
Yeah, what do you want?
Well, if you're a reliever, I want you to go in and, I don't know, pitch well.
Relief?
Yeah.
Like
Relieve
he
the
did.
starter.
What?
Relieve the starter.
That's a good teammate.
I don't think he means that.
Angry Dan says maybe the offense should score more than 1 run. Plenty of blame for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I agree with that.
You can. I mean, if you're dishing
What?
out slices of the blame pie, I mean, there's plenty to go around. You're right. You scored 1 run today.
Miles Michaelis pitched well.
Why do you
He
say
did.
it with that
He did.
smile on
No,
your
he
face?
did. Like
Carey?
he pitched well.
The starters
Got
have
out
been
of a
very
couple
good.
of scary situations.
The starters have been very good.
They've been
The
fine.
starters have been good.
They've been fine.
Not fast lane fine. They've been fine.
They've been fine.
Yeah, fine. I'm
been
sorry, I'm not
slightly-
celebrating
They've
a
been
loss,
they've
Anthony.
been slightly above average. The starters have. If your bullpen was even mediocre at this point, you're probably you got
You guys-
13 wins instead of 10.
You guys don't want to
Right.
talk about the win last night? You don't want to talk about that one?
No, I don't want to talk about the win last night.
They won. Be positive.
How'd they do today? How'd they do today?
It's a getaway game, wasn't it?
Yeah, get away from
Get away.
another road loss.
Day? Getaway game? No?
10 and 15 on the year, 2-11
Who's
on the
keeping
road.
track, Anthony?
Everybody, Major League Baseball specifically, is keeping track of all this.
That's literally all they do is keep track of stats.
What
Yes.
do they know?
It's been bad.
This is not a fun team to watch. I thought it was, but now it's not because I'm seeing a lot of things that were issues the last 2 seasons, and I'm over that. I don't want to watch this team. Unfortunately, we have to because it's a part of our job. But I don't want to. I wish that the Blues were playing tonight so we could watch something.
But there is NHL hockey on.
There is, but I need a win. Because last night's win was cool until about 10
You woke
minutes
up this
ago.
morning?
I didn't get my full 24 hours.
We didn't get a full 24
enjoyment.
hours.
And I like 24 hours of enjoyment.
I know you do.
And we didn't get that.
On a positive side, Alec Burleson did collect 3 hits today. He was 3 for 4.
Good job.
How about Newt? Newt, there it is last night, Anthony.
Last night he did very well.
What's he, a 2-pointer? 3-pointer?
Did you hit a home run?
Yeah.
I did. Newt did.
He had Newt.
Did you have Newt?
Yeah, I had Newt. It's right here in the
Nice.
record books, pal.
You're on the board.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
What's
man.
Newt, a 2-pointer?
He's a 2-pointer.
There you go.
I'll take it.
So you're in second place. You just catapulted into second place.
Leapfrog, baby.
Yeah. All right. So the Cardinals 10-15 on the year. Like I said, 2-11 on the road. They did get the 1 win in Atlanta on the road. Their only road win thus far on this road swing. They got Milwaukee next.
At home, right?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Things are going to change?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they play Milwaukee starting tomorrow night?
Yeah.
No. Is it?
Let's see here.
Yeah, it has
Friday.
to be. Oh, it has to be tomorrow night.
No, it doesn't
Friday
have to be.
Yeah, doesn't
It's
they play
Friday.
like... What?
Yeah.
It's Friday night.
Friday night. Typically, you get either Monday or Thursday off in baseball. And the
Listen,
Cardinals played on
Anthony,
Monday,
don't-
so they're off on Thursday.
Don't do that to me, okay? Don't mansplain baseball.
I'm sorry. I thought it was just giving you useful information.
It's the way you said it, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Treat me like I was a 5-year-old. Mm-hmm. Don't appreciate that, okay?
What do you do with this pen?
You got to gut it.
I mean,
Or who?
well, this is why you have a minor league system,
Well,
though,
yeah,
right?
anybody at this point, bring up Roycroft again. No?
Probably not.
Get Chris Effel in the bullpen. Like, I don't
Give
know.
guys opportunities.
Somebody, anybody. It ain't working, man.
They're not measuring this season off of wins, fellas.
But you can't
it's
do
about
this
maturation.
to a young team, Carey, that last night put up some runs, nice big win. Today you're tied with one of the best teams in the league, and you roll out a
stink
crappy
now.
bullpen.
It's okay. Stay even keel. Don't get too high or too low.
This guy. I don't even know.
Just telling you, man.
How many
It's a
things has
long
Carey
season.
done differently recently? I'm worried that he's been kidnapped by aliens and they've returned a different version to us.
This is
Like
the more.
he says he went to Hawaii.
I did.
Good one. I think he went. I think he got probed.
Everybody probing me.
I think you mean cloned.
That too.
He was cloned.
I'm not
The
being
real Carey's
probed.
elsewhere. By the way, Marsh, did you get the memo?
Oh, the white shirts?
Yeah, I didn't get the memo on the white shirts.
Well, if you think
White
about it,
T-shirts.
think about this. Your shirt plus Jamie's shirt and Carey's shirt would make my shirt.
Okay.
Ah, there you go.
Black and white makes gray.
Does it?
Okay. I don't know. No, I think
No,
black. I think
no, it
just
doesn't.
Black or white, and then you
yeah.
got the gray area.
It's usually a lighter shade of black.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I don't think black and white make gray, does it?
How
I mean,
else
maybe
do,
it does.
How else do you make gray?
That's a good point. How much?
mean, it
Marsh
depends
brings
what
up a
we're-
good question.
Carey,
How
it
else,
totally depends what we're talking about.
Are you serious right now?
how else would you make gray?
I don't know.
It's black and white.
Is it?
Yes.
That's how you get the gray area?
You're not following.
No.
Black and white. Gray can be made by mixing black and white.
Did you really doubt that for real?
Yeah,
Okay, Carey and I were talking about
Other things.
other things.
Don't
of course you are. You always are.
Carey,
Not me.
the clone.
All right, let's get to Brad Thompson. Maybe he can explain this mess next on 101
I bet he
ESPN.
can.
Hey, it is time to get into Diamonds Direct. It is their annual spring sale. It is going on right now. What do you get at the annual spring sale? Well, you get 20% off their already unbeatable prices, plus another $100 off whatever you're getting. So you might want to get in there. If you're thinking ahead for Mother's Day, great idea, Diamonds Direct. If you are thinking about a present for a graduate, Diamonds Direct has got you covered. And you know, if you're popping the question, there is no better place to go. The selection over at Diamonds Direct is like shopping 30 different jewelry stores all at once. You will love what they've got going over at Diamonds Direct. I'm telling you, she is going to love it when you go there. We're just getting back off of a road trip. I should probably go into Diamonds Direct to make my wife happy. 20% off. It's their annual spring sale plus another $100. Go check them out. Get in there. Go to diamondsdirect.com. At Olive and 270 at City Place, it's Diamonds Direct.
We're hanging with Brad Thompson on 101 ESPN.
Hanging breaking ball from Brad Thompson. And boy, does he get a swing on it. Lift and separate and see you later.
Hanging with BT is sponsored by St. Luke's, ranked top 2% in the nation for cardiac surgery by Health Grades. Visit stlukes-stl.com.
It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head down to Atlanta, where our guy Brad Thompson, 2006 World Series champion, and of course the color analyst for FanDuel Sports Network, joins us right now via the Collier and Thompson phone line. BT, how are you?
Guys, I'm doing okay. I think the only thing that could have been worse about the ball game today is if the rain that is hit now would have happened about 40 minutes ago. So you have to have that game and a rain delay. I feel like that would have really been the icing on the cake.
Yeah, not great. The Cardinals lose 4-1. What are you seeing right now from guys in this bullpen, specifically Ryan Fernandez? Are they struggling with one thing specifically with their game, or is it a combination of factors?
Look, it's I think it's a combination of factors. Like last year, we used Ryan Fernandez for the first example. He was dominant. This is a guy we didn't know what to expect. He was a Rule 5 pick from Boston, and he just came out and he looked the part. I mean, he was out there just pumping strikes, going after the opposition, and it was great to see. And his slider was nasty. Well, now this year, the slider not quite as tight for Fernandez. I know he's been working through it. He's working through it with Dusty and Dean Keycapper, all the pitching guys. But it's not the same. And then you know how it is when you start to struggle a little bit. You can almost see it on his face when he's out there. I feel like the confidence has taken a step back with the results, and it makes it very difficult. So I'm not sure what the answer is right now with Fernandez. There's not that many guys at AAA beating down the door either. But at some point, you know, you try to put him in different spots. It was pretty evident today that with the spot that he was in, with the struggles that he's had, that Maton was not available in this ball game, or he would have likely gotten that spot with a couple of runners on when Eli White hit that home run out. But it's frustrating for him for sure. But the Cardinals need to figure out ways to bridge games. So someone's going to have to be the Ryan Fernandez of a year ago, because he's not the same. And JoJo hasn't been the same stuff either. The velocity is not the same, and the consistency with his breaking stuff.
So, BT, like what are the options then? Like, Ollie looks down into the pen, and it is what it is. The roster's the roster, but how can he shuffle the deck any differently? I mean, you can't have all arms available every day. We all know that. Is it just simple? Is it as simple as guys just have to pitch better?
100% is that simple. And then whatever roster moves you make, somebody's going to have to step up. Like you're going to have to at some point. We know this. You got to use a lot of guys in a bullpen throughout a year or in a rotation throughout a year. Somebody's got to step up. And maybe you thrust people into spots before you want them to. I was impressed watching the Major League debut the other night of Matt Swanson. I thought he did a very good job. He was showing 96, 97 with Sink. maybe you have to thrust him into a bigger role earlier. But the reason you don't do it in a game like that today is you worry about hurting somebody's confidence too, right? You want them to ease into action, a lot like they eased Kyle Leahy in over the last year plus. So, but it really is. The question you asked me, I guarantee you, is the question that Ollie Marmol and his staff are going over before every single game. Like, how the heck do we bridge this gap and get it to Helsley? At the end of the day, the arms that you have, like you said, Jamie, your roster is your roster. Those guys have to get out. Like, to me, it's not like, hey, they're not game planning enough, or he's putting the wrong pieces in. The pieces have to get the job done, or there have to be different pieces there to get the opportunity.
BT, Jordan Walker's been struggling. He's 3 for his last 35, been striking out, had a couple of walks last night. But what are you seeing from him in terms of his approach at the plate?
CD, old habits die hard, I think. I think that's kind of what we're seeing is him falling back into some of the trends that he had, especially a year ago, where that front side is leaking out again. He's opening himself up to the pitcher and then collapsing on that back knee. It's not every single time, but I think we're seeing it more now than we saw early. Early, everything was closed. He was very compact, and he had no problem trying to utilize the whole field. Right now, he's opening up. I feel like he's trying to do a lot of damage, but he's susceptible right now to strikes, like middle-away strikes that he's just missing. He can't cover because his body's going the other direction. So for a young player, 22 years old, sometimes failure is your biggest teacher. And when you go through a little span like this, that's when you really dig in. But I know that they're working with it, Brant Brown, the whole staff, every day of getting him locked back in. But on an individual level, like you guys know, sometimes you're doing something and it feels right, and then you go back and watch the video and say, who the hell's that guy? That's not me. It takes reps. He's working through it, but I think it's just some of these habits that he's had in the past. That's what he's fallen back into.
Brad Thompson joins us from Atlanta here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. BT, how do you think that Ollie will utilize this log jam right now in the infield with Siani sent down the other day when Mason Wynn was activated? They kept Sajaci. Alec Burleson had a big day today, but he looked like he may be the one that could sacrifice some opportunities. How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, I mean, they've wanted to get Burley more and more at-bats, and he's got a long runway. But that could be. I mean, that could be an area where you sneak some at-bats to somebody else. I think that you're still, when you're talking about runway for young players, Gorman's going to get at-bats. Like, you got to find out what you have in him. You know that Donnie, when he is in there, he's going to get at-bats. The interesting one to me is Sajaci, because Sajaci, he's earned to be on this team. You look what he's done in a limited amount of time. But when you're trying to figure out, Wynn's playing shortstop pretty much every single day. And, Donnie or Gorman are going to play second base, and those guys are both going to be in the lineup. How do you get Sajaci in? I think the reason that they kept Sajaci, not just because of what he was doing offensively, but is Donnie had his rib issue, so you wanted a little bit more depth in the middle infield. But at 22 years old, I feel like Sajaci's going to have to go play. And I don't know if you could do that at the big league level.
BT, when you're looking at the starting rotation, Miles Michaelis had a pretty good day. We know he got roughed up a couple of times, but he's been doing really well. What are you seeing from this starting rotation, and do you expect them to continue to play and perform as well as they have?
Yeah, they're giving you a chance every day, and that's what you can expect. Like, they don't have, and Sonny Gray has been an ace for sure, but they don't have a lot of guys where they're just going to outstuff you. They have a group that has to go out and pitch. And I think from a game planning standpoint, they've done a fantastic job. From an execution standpoint, they've done a really good job. And you hope for continued success. Will there be ebbs and flows? Yeah. I thought today was a big step forward for Miles Michaelis in a game where they really needed him. They needed innings, and they needed quality. He stepped up. He stepped up and gave him 6 innings. He mixed up all of his pitches well. He kept a dangerous lineup off balance. But your hope is, that you see more and more of that. They keep giving you a chance to win. And then maybe as you get further down the season, maybe that's when you start wheeling and dealing a little bit, and then you get some of your young arms in the mix.
BT, Victor Scott, for me, just watching him play this year, it's defensively, same guy, stealing bases, same guy, but offensively at the plate, his approach seems just so much better. From your standpoint, what are you seeing that he's doing, and how come he's continuing to have success?
So, Jamie, we showed a graphic on the broadcast yesterday, and it was the swing arc, like how quick his swing is. And it's one of the quicker swings in the game of baseball. Last year, I think that he got long. His hands got away from his body, and he was kind of coming around the baseball. Leads to rolling over, also leads to weak pop-ups. He popped up a lot. He's tightened up his swing. He's compressed it. And I think that he's gotten to the point where he just knows if he can get the barrel to the baseball, his speed will take over after that. He's got home run power. He showed that off in spring. He had 5 of them. But that's not his game. His game is get the barrel to the ball and then run. So, to me, his pitch selection has been very good. He's trusted in that short stroke. He's not afraid to go the other way. He isn't full homer happy, trying to make something huge happen every play. So that has really just benefited him. But I agree with you. He's a joy to watch. He's awesome, a guy in the clubhouse. And I think that he's going to continue to have success as long as he continues to simplify it.
PT, we'll let you go. We know that you're traveling and what have you. So safe travels back to St. Louis, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, guys. And again, I think I've said this before, but hopefully next time we talk, we got better news.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be good.
It would be a lot of fun.
For
you guys
everybody.
Take care, and I'll talk to you next week.
All right, BT. See you, buddy.
All right, see you, boys.
That's our guy. That's our guy, Brad Thompson, 2006 World Series champion, color analyst for FanDuel Sports Network. Good stuff there on Jordan Walker. I like that. I love that
Old
breakdown.
Habits die hard.
Yeah.
I think when you're a younger player and you've had success your entire life doing it one way, and now you're told, yeah, that's not going to work here, and mentally you're like, why not?
Go fast on yourself.
Please. It's frustrating. So he was having some success earlier on in the season. It looks like I think we talked about it before. He does swing and miss a lot on pitches away. And it feels like he's pulling off the plate, like he's trying to pull everything. He talked about his backside collapsing. Like it's a lot to try to process. Like playing golf. Like when you play golf and they're like, oh no, get your hips this way, get your arms this way, your back this way, your knees this way. You're like, I just want to hit the ball straight.
Right.
Like you're giving me, I'm overloaded with information, and sometimes it becomes too much. I don't know if there's a way to simplify it for him. And I think if you just have any success, like getting the bat on the ball and getting it into play, will probably create some type of good feeling for him. But you just have to do it. You have to find a way to get that done. And until he does it, over and over and over again, he's gonna struggle both mentally and physically trying to get it done.
Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. How did the Blues keep Kyle Connor off the stat sheet? Jamie's got one interesting way.
I don't think that's going to work, though.
Oh, it would work, Carey.
Yeah, but I don't. Okay, we'll discuss it later. Maybe we should.
Jamie will provide an on-ice way and an off-ice way.
I don't know if we can talk about the off-ice way.
Next on 101 ESPN.
No matter what vehicle you are driving around in right now, Pure Performance has accessories for you. Yeah, that's right. You got those Jeeps, Broncos. Of course, there's tons of accessories for those vehicles, but also the pickup trucks, the SUVs, cars, even minivans. Pure Performance is your one-stop shop for all aftermarket modifications, and they have tires for every kind of vehicle out there, not just the oversized tires, off-road tires. No matter what vehicle you drive, they've got tires and wheels for you, including your ATV, UTV, and golf carts. Everything available at Pure Performance. They also have a full-service garage, so while you're there getting accessories put on your vehicle or any modifications at all, you can always hit your oil change, tune up, get your brakes done, whatever it takes. They've got you covered over there at Pure Performance, located over in St. Peters, right off of Highway 70. When you walk into their 25,000 square foot facility, ask for Shelby or Paul. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. But if you can't get there in person, they've got a great website. Get there online. Visit them at pureperformance.com. That's pure, P-U-R, performance.com.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. You just heard from Brad Thompson as we recap today's Cardinals game against the Braves. After a 10-4 victory last night, the Cardinals fall to the Braves earlier today by a final score of 4-1. The Redbirds will go up against the Milwaukee Brewers this weekend at home. The Blues also looking to get back in the win column. Game 3 against the Jets is tomorrow night, and you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 7:30. Puck drop is at 8:30, and we'll hear from Blues head coach Jim Montgomery at 5:30. So stay tuned for that interview. But coming up next, how do the Blues keep Kyle Connor and that first line off the stat sheet? We'll discuss it next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
we have to be harder on Connor and Scheifele. I mean, they've scored the winning goal both nights, and they're making plays on us down low. So yes, we have to be harder.
That's Blues head coach Jim Montgomery, post-practice needing to play harder on the Jets' top line, which, as we discussed yesterday, the top line for the Jets has they've been, unfortunately for the Blues, they've been outstanding in this series. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Game 3 tomorrow, pregame at 7:30, puck drop at 8:30. We'll be down at Enterprise Center tomorrow, broadcasting live from there. So we'll get a vibe for how the team is looking and feeling tomorrow. But, Jamie, this has been a big topic of conversation. How do the Blues keep Kyle Connor off the stat sheet? Or that top line?
Yeah, well.
And/or.
You heard Jim Montgomery. You have to play those guys harder. You just do. You got to make life miserable. I mean, within the rules of the game, because you don't want to take a penalty. Your penalty kill's been good this series so far, but you certainly don't want to give Winnipeg any added advantage by putting them on the power play even more. So within the rules of the game, you got to make life miserable. You've got to cover guys tight. You got to make sure that when you get a chance to get a lick on somebody, you do. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at Kyrou got planted by Stanley. You need to find a way to do that to Connor. All within the rules of the game. Nothing crazy there. But it's been a little bit easy for those guys. Yeah. And now, it's easier said than done. Kyle Connor's like a water bug out there. Just when you think you've got him, he's around you. So you have to be very careful how you approach it as well. If you just go charging out of position to go get a good hit on a guy and he's shaking bakes you and goes by you, then that's not very good either.
Right.
But when the opportunity's there, you got to play him tough. Can't let him inside the dots either. If he's going to score, he's got to score from outside the dots. And if he does, he go give Jordan Binnington a tap and say, hey, buddy, come on, man. We need you.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Jordan Binnington if Kyle Connor's shooting from the corner. Just not. But when he's right dead smack in the middle of the ice and he gets a one-timer, that's a little more difficult for the goalie. Mm-hmm. So I think that, as a five-man unit, I'm going to go back to what I said yesterday. The five guys on the ice need to know who they're playing against. Take inventory. I know people are sick of me saying that, but that's what you do. You see who's on the ice, and you adjust accordingly. So instead of maybe the one toe drag in the corner or a fancy play at the blue line, you don't.
Yeah.
You get it, move it up the ice, get into a spot where it pulls that line further away from your net. And, before they scored that game-winning goal, there was an opportunity or two for the puck to be cleared, and it didn't get cleared. Mm-hmm. Got all the way to the blue line, didn't get out. And those usually bite you in the rear when that happens, especially against the other team's best line. So you got to make sure that you're managing the puck properly, playing them very close, tight checking, and then when you have the opportunity to be physical, you have to really be physical.
Absolutely.
So it's just a trend, but according to Darren Bombing, who covers the Jets for NHL.com, Kyle Connor, when he scores a goal, the Jets have won 20 consecutive games.
Oh, there you go. It's easy then. Don't let him score.
Don't let him score, you win.
Boom.
Let him score. Hide his skates. Cut his sticks in half. So the Blues trainer should be working overtime.
Put tape on his skate blade.
Should be anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
Although he
legal.
has like 6 sets of blades. So it's not like that's what the players are now. It's not 6 sets of skates. They have their own steel. The steel pops out of the skate now.
What?
Yeah.
Just
so
pop it back in.
Yeah.
You used to have to take the whole skate, put it on a machine, and sharpen it. And now they don't do that. They just take the blade, and some of them have an automatic sharpener. And so a player has a little holder of like 8 or 10 blades in there. And so you get to the bench, you got a little key that they go, the blade pops out, new blade in, you're good to go.
And they use their palm, Anthony, right on top of the skate blade. And you're probably thinking, how did he not cut his hand?
Distributing weight evenly. So if you went on one side, you cut, or the other side, or if you slid it up and down, obviously you cut, but when you just go weight at the same time, pops right in there. I see it all the time. Guys come to the bench now, just pop their skate up. Braden Shen changes his steel like 4 or 5 times a game.
Really?
I don't know why, but he does.
It's a mental thing.
That maybe.
Works for him.
At this point, yeah.
How do you stop both of them? You got Scheifele and Connor. Both those guys led top 10 in scoring, goal scoring in the league. How do you prevent both of those guys? It's hard enough to stop one. How are you going to stop both of them?
So I'm going to go back to something I said a couple of days ago. At different times this season, you're able to stop Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. And when Rantanen was playing with Nathan McKinnon, you were able to stop them a few times. Like, it's not impossible. Those Scheifele and Connor aren't better than those guys. Right. So to me, it just becomes more of a mindset of, again, knowing they're on the ice, changing your game plan just a little bit, Force them out of the offensive zone. They're not going to score from the neutral zone or their own end. If they do, I mean, that's going to be on the highlights everywhere. But they're not. So make sure they can't get the puck peacefully in your end.
Jim Montgomery also spoke post-practice on the biggest discrepancy between the first two periods versus the third. As we know, the third has been an issue for the Blues in the first two games.
Yeah, I think attitude. We come out and we're being direct and we're playing a very aggressive game defensively and offensively. And in the third period, we haven't done it as much.
Okay, well, Jamie, is there any sort of, I feel like we've had this discussion before where it's like you get into the second intermission and, you talk, well, they got to change some things up. How much, like football, at halftime, the game plan's already set. You may make some tweaks, but it's not like, halftime adjustments. They're really just tweaks at that point. Can you take a different approach in that second intermission when it comes to changing things up to have more third period success, or is just that's an on ice thing?
I think there's a little bit of both there. The biggest thing for me is, the Blues going into the third period, they've been tied, so it's like they're trying to win the game too. At the same point where maybe they're not the coverage again, going back to the Connor Scheifele line. Maybe the coverage isn't as tight as it could be. For me, if you're the Blues, you play the long game. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, I don't care if we score in the last minute of play. It doesn't matter. We don't have to score in the first minute. It'd be nice, but we're making sure they can't score. Mm-hmm. And at some point, the opposition has to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And when they do, then you got to capitalize. For me, it's just being aggressive, man. Move pucks ahead. Right now, Winnipeg is trying to stand up at all the lines. Get the puck past the defenseman. Go get it. Mm-hmm. Chip it past, go get it. The little side passes, 3 foot this way, 3 foot that way, it's not working. It's just not working. Chip it, go get it. I know for Robert Thomas and for some of the guys that may not be ideal for them, but guess what? We do things that aren't ideal in order to win games. And Robert Thomas knows that. He won a Stanley Cup. He knows what it takes. So I'm not worried about Robert Thomas having to alter his game. Even Jordan Kyrou, for that matter. But now's the time where they got to be held accountable in the sense of, reminded, hey, guys, advance the puck management, put it into good areas. Make Luke Shen turn and go get the puck 27 times tonight.
Yeah.
Make Logan Stanley turn and get into a foot race with you, Jordan Kyrou, to chase down the loose puck. Force them into areas where they're not comfortable.
Yeah.
Because standing up at the lines, they're very comfortable. Playing physical, very comfortable. Chasing pucks backwards, not comfortable. So that's kind of your answer there.
That's Jamie Rivers. That's Carey Davis. Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. We've got the Blues Jets Game 3 pregame for you tomorrow night at 7:30. Puck will drop at 8:30. We'll have all the coverage on the Blues Radio Network and 101 ESPN. And again, we'll be down at Enterprise Center live tomorrow, 2 to 6 for our broadcast. BK and Ferrario will also be live as well. We've got what's trending next in the Fast Lane.
Anthony, the Blues can use some of that mentality going into tomorrow night's game. I'm sure all those boys got plenty of testosterone, but why not, right? I mean, why not? Look what it's done for us.
Mm-hmm. It's been fantastic. You brought me down there to mentality because I noticed a change in you.
I drug you down there.
Yeah, well,
it's kicking and screaming a little bit, but once we got there, you were really well behaved, especially when you get that lollipop.
Well, that was nice of them. Yeah, they got little snacks and stuff like that.
Waters,
mentality is fantastic. Yeah. All kidding aside, though, it is. You're kind of apprehensive first going to mentality, right? You're like, I'll fix this.
Well, you feel like I'm a man.
Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll just tweak some things. Yeah, no. Listen, when you lose testosterone, it's natural. If you're a guy, I'm in my early 40s. Jamie now in his early 50s.
What?
You may experience low energy, that lack of motivation, maybe feeling anxious, irritable. That was something I noticed, man. I was irritable a lot. You even told me, man, what's your problem?
Seriously,
constantly.
quite a bit, yeah.
And after I calmed myself down to not make a big mistake with you, I took your advice and went down to mentality. And each program's different. Your program's different than mine. And, boy, I feel fantastic. on Mantelli's program. I know you do too.
Yeah, I love it. And it's covered by most insurances, so don't be intimidated by that. Don't be intimidated by going there because there's a whole bunch of other dudes and women that are there getting hormone replacement therapy and all sorts of things. Everybody's there for the same reason, to feel better and so that you can live your everyday life just the way you want to. So again, check out the location in Chesterfield, South County. Tell them that Anthony and Jamie sent you in. If you can't get in there in person, get there online.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can do so, mentalityhealth.com/radio. Again, mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Whoever gonna be the quarterback for DK Metcalf and George Pickens, whoever that is.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending? Brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Here we go. It's time for What's Trending with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh. Gentlemen, you heard Shadur Sanders, who appeared on a podcast with Max Crosby. He was asked about who is on his Mount Rushmore for duos, and you heard him say whoever the quarterback for DK Metcalf and George Pickens, whoever that is this year. Is Shedeur Sanders going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler?
Man, I sure hope so. I would love to have old Shedeur Sanders in black and gold. Be awesome. You know, I mean, I'm sure he doesn't.
Mizzou?
No, hell no.
I mean, technically he was in black and
He
gold.
was. But I would love to see him in Pittsburgh. I think that would be a great setup for him. You know, if he falls to them, and I don't think it's a bad thing for quarterbacks to go later in the draft in the first round. It means you're probably going to a better team than you would be if you were drafted in the top 5, top 10. So, you know, if he's still around, if he gets past New Orleans at number 9, I don't think that there's a team in need of a quarterback, and I don't think there's a team that would necessarily jump back up in front of 21 to get him before Pittsburgh would. So, you know, we'll see how things play out tomorrow night. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
The Shedeur Sanders
situation me like this.
Because I don't know if I believe what you're saying anymore.
Oh, no, I really do want Shedeur in Pittsburgh. They have needed a quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger retired in what, 21? Is it 21, 22, 21?
He talked about coming back, Carey.
Nah, he was. Yeah, I think so. Like it's been a while since they had since they had some real help at that position. I think they tried to, you know, get it corrected last season with Russell and Justin Fields, but you know, it just didn't pan out the way that they thought it would. I would be really excited to see a young, talented quarterback like Shedeur end up in Pittsburgh.
I think that would be a great get for the Steelers, especially if they don't have to move up to get them.
Jamie, put your hand down.
No, I won't.
What's your question?
Especially
Jamie?
since you told me to, I won't.
All right.
I might leave it here all show now.
You should. No, don't leave it there.
Jamie, you have a question?
Yeah, Marshy, I believe I sent you something earlier today.
Yeah.
There was a report on a assistant coach talking about Shedeur Sanders. So, Carey, I want you to get a good listen to this. It's, you want this guy wearing the black and gold. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's not an audio piece.
But I want you to read it.
Oh, you want me to read it?
Yeah, you're a great reader. I'm not.
Let me pull it up first.
While you pull it out, we'll
pull it up. Let's be pull it up. Pull it up.
That's what he said.
Pull it out. Of course.
What are you talking about?
Well, let's just make sure that our words are.
Details matter.
Details matter.
So it was Dov Kleiman who had a report out on Shedeur Sanders. And as I'm scrolling through, it says that many teams are expecting Shedeur Sanders to fall outside the top 10. And there's a reason for that, because there was an assistant coach that remained nameless that said he had a terrible interview, an absolutely awful interview. Here it is. The worst formal interview I've ever been in my life. He's so entitled. He takes unnecessary sacks. He never plays on time. He has horrible body language. He blames teammates. But the biggest thing is he's not that good. Your thoughts, Carey?
Which team was it?
Right.
Because if it was the New York Jets, the Cleveland Browns, the
Steelers, the Giants.
It matters which
doesn't
team.
matter to me.
No, it does matter.
The Browns.
Because if that coach coaches for
Pittsburgh,
it wouldn't be Pittsburgh. Nah. I don't think it would be Pittsburgh.
I think what Carey's trying to say is that it's lying season right now.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yes.
Yeah, all these teams,
especially right now.
There are so many reports that come out. They say certain things. It's maneuvering, trying to sometimes sour a pick so that he falls to you. That's why the person remained anonymous. I don't put my name to it. But this is what I feel.
Can we expect the Bo Callahan treatment here?
Nobody went to his birthday party.
He just keeps falling and nobody knows why, because Sonny passed on him.
Yeah.
I watched that on the trip home, by the way.
Did you?
What a great movie that is.
Still haven't seen it.
What?
It's draft day?
Yeah.
Nope, never done it.
Carey, you guys.
It's the Cleveland
hokey
Browns.
good. It's hokey.
Isn't it the Browns?
But it's good.
Why the hell would I want to watch a draft
It's
day
not
movie
really
with
the
the
Browns. It could be Team X, Y, or Z.
But it's
Carey, come on,
essentially
man.
the Browns. Kind of.
I just don't get
The team is the Browns, but it's
There you
not
go.
like it's like the Browns.
Then they should have gave him a different name. The Reds, the Blues.
Those
the
aren't real
Oranges.
names, though.
Then it's the Browns.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
All right.
They didn't do that.
I feel like you remain closed off right now, Carey, and I just I don't want that for you.
I appreciate it. I'm trying.
Tom Pelissero was the one that came out with this specific thing. Dove Kleiman or whoever that account is just posted it, whatever.
Reposted. Yeah.
But yeah, this is interesting. I also tend to agree with this is lying season because it's starting to kind of lean that way that he's either going to be a Steeler or we said earlier in the month or maybe 2 months ago that he could be a Saint, which I think both teams could use a
he's
quarterback.
a good guy, but I don't know if he's a Saint.
Oh, he means New Orleans Saint.
That's what I meant
the
to.
football team. The football.
There was a quarterback that this happened to right before the draft. I don't know if it was
Callahan.
not Bo Callahan, a real quarterback, like Shane Falco or something.
He was undrafted. Remember, he got hurt.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I thought it was like I don't know if it was Jameis Winston or no, it was maybe it was Cam Newton.
Or
There was like a really scathing report that came out a couple of days before the Cam Newton, the draft, and it wound up just,
didn't matter.
Yeah,
he still won number 1 overall. So what you like is what you like. If they think that Shedeur Sanders has the ability to play at a high level, I'm almost certain he's going in the first round. There's no reason to believe anything other than that. So there's a team in the NFL that doesn't give a damn about what this anonymous assistant coach had to say about his interview process, right? There's a team that's going to say, yeah, he might have done that with you all, but he was perfect in our meeting.
Yeah.
And maybe Shedeur was that way in their meeting, and maybe it was intentional. There are games to be played on both sides. Maybe Deion went to a meeting. They said, we want to have a meeting with you. When you drafted? Yeah, I won't be around. Ain't no need to meet with you.
Yeah.
So,
I did that to Anthony's San Jose Sharks. I didn't miss the meeting, but I got into the meeting, and at the time they had this camp that they ran in Brainerd, Minnesota, and first question I sat down. And they said, hey, we have a camp in Brainerd, Minnesota. If we draft you, we like to send our guys there for 3 months in the summer to train and skate every day and stuff. Yeah, would you be willing to do that if you were a Shark? And I paused. I went, no, I'm not really into that. I said, if I can't get done what I need to be done and be ready at training camp, then I probably don't belong on your team anyways. And I said, I spend enough time away from friends and family. So, yeah, no, I'm not interested.
And then an assistant coach said,
they said,
Rivers.
They said, okay, we'll be in touch. I walked out of the room. My agent was standing there. And I go, I think you can scratch them off the list.
You can go get him
go
now.
to Brainerd, Minnesota for 3 months of the summer? Forget that.
That all worked out.
Damn Sharks. It did. It worked out fine.
Could you you said the Sharks, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you were Anthony's favorite player?
I could have been his favorite player. Imagine that.
That would have been awesome.
You peel out the Rivers jersey from your closet.
Oh, my God. He would be so excited every day.
The first day I'm on the air, the next day you wear it. That would be awesome.
Really? Really?
All right, the T-shirt's fine.
Jersey. A Rivers jersey.
A Sharks jersey.
Yeah. It'd look good. Be all faded.
Probably. It's 93, I hope so.
Was last night a reminder that development comes first for the Cardinals? Well, it certainly isn't winning. That's next up on ESPN.
Oh, it's that time of year. I absolutely love the NHL playoffs, the NBA right there for Carey Davis. He loves watching the NBA. I don't so much, but that's okay. Either way, you can jump on your Circa Sports Illinois app and get in on all the excitement. They've got great lines on all their futures bets. They've got tight money line splits, and they have the best odds out of any app that is out there right now. And go download whatever app you think is better. Check out the odds with Circa Sports, and you'll see that the odds with Circa Sports are better. What does that mean? it means a bigger payout for you, and you are going to love that. I love it every time I play with Circa Sports Illinois. And they also have high betting limits, so you can get a little wonky if you want to at that point. And it is user-friendly and super easy to find, too. Just get on their website or any app store. You can download the app. And if you have any problem, the customer service is actually a real person, not a bot or a chat or anything of those things. No, you talk to a real person. They walk you through it. That way they can get you on the app and get you going as soon as possible. So please don't miss out on all the action. Again, download Bet Like a Pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
You're in the fast lane on 101 ESPN, driven by Scrap Mart Metals Recycling.
The Cardinals fell 4-1 today in Atlanta, but they did beat the Braves last night 10-4. Nolan Gorman had a very good game for the Cardinals, and I think he kind of rewarded the team by, sticking with him. He had a couple of hits in a recent game a couple nights ago, and then he's been given a consistent stretch of at-bats. Kind of goes in line with what the Cardinals wanted to do preseason when it came to committing to developing young talent. So last night, Nolan Gorman delivered a pivotal 3-run double in the 7th inning to help the Cardinals break a 4-4 tie and then snap a 5-game losing streak. And I think Marmol even emphasized last night the need to stick with young players through slumps to help them grow, especially after Gorman's brief struggle following his return from a hamstring injury. So I think last night, guys, I don't know how you felt, but I think last night was a reminder that development is first right now for the Cards. I also think that probably goes hand in hand with the fact that they're losing games.
What?
Because if they're winning, it's not like, hey, we're going to develop and win. Best of both worlds. But now you hear a lot more of that. Well, we're going to be patient. We got guys that are trying to develop and because you're also losing a bunch of games.
It's a nice way to put it. Yeah.
Nonetheless, guys, last night, I think, again, was kind of a reminder that development is coming first right now.
Yeah, I honestly thought for sure that Luke and Baker or Sajasi were going to get the tap on the shoulder, specifically Sajasi, because you can slot him right in, play second base after. And his bat has been playing overall. He doesn't have as much pop, obviously, as Gorman. Very few people do. But his bat has been playing quite well, and in that situation could help the team. Gorman didn't. And then Gorman did not help the team, but Ollie had left him in for the at-bat. And then the next time he comes up, he hits that double.
Right.
And so then you think to yourself, okay, it worked. But, I'm just wondering if Cardinal Nation is ready for leaving Gorman in there. Because what if the second time around it didn't work again? And then today or last night, Ollie would have had to answer so many questions.
Yeah.
Why did you do this? Why did you do that? But then when it works out, well, we're working on development. This is what we're here for. This is what we want to find out. So I don't know. There is no perfect way that's going to keep everybody happy.
Right.
But I liked it because, Carey, to your point, always, you have a thing for Gorman in a way that you don't like the fact that he strikes out so much. And yes, the home runs are there, but he has the high strikeout rate and all that stuff. So I thought of you immediately when I saw all of that happen, because I was like, okay, this is a situation where Gorman, you have to find out what you have in him. Is he just this home run or bust guy, or can he come through in some of the big moments? He missed on the first one, came through on the second one.
I think it is. I think it's very important to let these young guys figure it out, and for you as a staff, as a front office, as an organization, to figure out who they are as well. You have to allow them time to process and mature, whether they're going to be really good or really bad, one way or the other. But you have to give them that opportunity. For Gorman to come through in that moment, obviously, is a huge moment for him, and it allows him to continue to stay on the field. He's only gotten one home run this year, but he's been hitting the ball pretty well the last few days. My question is, and I didn't even know Brendan Donovan had a dislocated rib. I don't know when that even happened, but him, when he comes back, who's sitting down? Because now you got Sajasi there.
I was going to say, I think Sajasi probably goes back down to Memphis, right?
Well, they didn't put Brendan on the IL.
Yeah, he's there.
He's still on the roster. I'm talking about when he gets back into the lineup.
I think that's why Sajasi is still here because
of the injury.
The injury, yes.
And I'm not.
It's not that serious, so they put him on IL. But
correct. But I'm saying who's in the lineup? Like who's not in the lineup? Is it going to be Burley? Is it going to be Gorman? Like which one of those two? Because it essentially they're not the same player, but they both are left-handed bats that are DHs or utility infield players. Who's going to be the person that gets the bulk of those opportunities? It's probably going to be Gorman as your DH, and Burley will be the bat that comes off of the bench if there's a left-handed need in that moment.
Well, this is part of the problem of having Wilson Contreras play first base.
It's not
because
a problem. And he's playing well, Anthony.
If he wasn't at first and he was your catcher still, then Burleson could be your everyday first baseman, and you could spell Burleson at first with Contreras on days where you want to get Contreras, away from the plate, and then you got Gorman as your DH last second baseman.
But then where would you have Herrera? So it's a log jam. We forget about Herrera because he's hurt, but you would have no place for Herrera then. So moving, it almost came down to, in my opinion, they valued Herrera's bat over a Burleson or a Gorman going into the season, and it was proven to, it was great. So the move to first base for Contreras was clearly for Ivan Herrera to be your starting catcher and get all of those opportunities. One way, if you move Contreras to first or if you move Herrera to first, Herrera and Contreras were going to be in this lineup, and I think that's what the Cardinals were telling you with that move for Contreras going to first base.
Sure.
No matter what you think about it. But the question becomes for Gorman and Burley, which one of those guys gets that opportunity?
Before he went 3 for 4 today, I thought it was going to be Burleson that missed out on some opportunities.
Right.
That's the way it was trending, at least.
Question for you guys. Kevin at the Lake on the text line says Gorman is a bust. Are we there?
No.
I mean, some people are, yeah.
I'm just wondering. Yeah. I don't have an opinion on it. I think he is what he is, personally. Is that a bust? I don't know. Guy has the potential to hit 25 to 30 home runs for you. Will he? I don't know. Will he 1 year? Maybe.
Yeah.
Will he another year? Maybe not. Maybe he's like Tyler O'Neill, where you get the All-Star version 1 year and you get not so much the next year, or like whatever.
Right. So I think for some people feel as though that Gorman is a complete bust, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's got so many red flags when it comes to his strikeout.
Yeah. Okay. So then let's go one step further, because
Strikeouts.
there were two names that were floated around Cardinal Nation for a long time as being the next stars.
Mm-hmm.
Walker and Gorman.
Yeah.
What do we make of that now? Is it too early on Walker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's too early.
I'm just wondering.
It don't look great, but yeah, I think it's too early on that. I think the other problem is you're constantly you got like part-time players. We're having this conversation because you signed Wilson Contreras a couple of years ago, and you made the deal for Nolan Arenado because you felt like, look, you're going to be a contender, and then you couldn't move the contract for Arenado. Mm-hmm. You moved Contreras over for Herrera. Herrera's now hurt, and now you got Paz, who's done a good job, but Paz, he should be a backup. You're constantly sacrificing at bats for somebody that you're trying to evaluate.
Yeah,
that's difficult.
I'm just wondering, like a year or two from now, if this is what we are, or what they have with Walker and Gorman, what was once such a highly touted duo of prospects to be like the next Pujols, pretty much.
Right. Well,
and now you're looking at like not even close.
Well, that's for us. That's for us being fans and in the media, where we just say, we'll see. And I hate to go that route because I'd like to get excited about some of these players.
The Cardinals are the ones, like, we could talk about it all we want. It ends up not mattering to us ultimately, because we'll still talk about the Cardinals every year.
Right.
But the Cardinals, if these two guys end up being not what they even thought they could be even close, that's a big problem for that team, because they're counting on those two guys as part of this, transition.
Absolutely. Speaking of Jordan Walker, here's Brad Thompson, who joined us earlier on Jordan Walker and what is ailing Jordan Walker at the moment.
CD, old habits die hard, I think. I think that's kind of what we're seeing, is him falling back into some of the trends that he had, especially a year ago, where that front side is leaking out again. He's opening himself up to the pitcher and then collapsing on that back knee. It's not every single time, but I think we're seeing it more now than we saw early. Early, everything was closed. He was very compact, and he had no problem trying to utilize the whole field. Right now, he's opening up. I feel like he's trying to do a lot of damage, but he's susceptible right now to strikes, like middle-away strikes that he's just missing. He can't cover because his body's going the other direction. So for a young player, 22 years old, sometimes failure is your biggest teacher. And when you go through a little span like this, that's when you really dig in. But I know that they're working with it, Brant Brown, the whole staff, every day of getting him locked back in. But on an individual level, like you guys know, sometimes you're doing something and it feels right, and then you go back and watch the video and say, who the hell's that guy? That's not me. It takes reps. He's working through it, but I think it's just some of these habits that he's had in the past, that's what he's fallen back into.
That was a great breakdown from a former pitcher that we've asked him to break down Jordan Walker as if he were going to break down an opposing hitter. This is somebody that had to study a lot of hitters to see where their weaknesses are. And I think Brad kind of laid it out there for you. We've heard others like, Jimmy Ballgame and Matt Holliday also break down hitting. But Brad provides a unique perspective on it. And if you watch Jordan Walker, a lot of the things that Brad says are right there in front of you. Hopefully Jordan Walker can turn it around at some point, though. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We've got our NFL 4 downs next. 4 NFL-related questions ahead of tomorrow night's first round. That's next on 101 ESPN. 4 downs ahead of tomorrow night's first round of the NFL Draft. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Fire away.
First down.
Should the Titans be locked in on Cam Ward at number 1? Or does it make more sense for them to trade back and look for the quarterback elsewhere?
Well, I'll say this. Warren Moon came out in the press and said that if they draft him, he would be okay with them unretiring his number 1 for Cam Ward to win.
I thought you said if they draft Warren. I thought
I would still give him a shot.
He's been out for a while.
But he's still better than some of the guys we've seen. He might be, actually. For sure.
Warren Moon was one of my favorite quarterbacks.
He's like 60.
I remember him from his CFL days with the Edmonton Eskimos.
Mm-hmm.
He went on, he was unreal. Then he went obviously down to the NFL. It was unreal. Hall of Famer there, too. It's wild to me. It always is like once he got to the NFL, it was so good. It was always wild to me that, like, how is he not there right away? Like, how did he have to go to the CFL first?
I mean, you see, like Steve Young. I think Steve Young did the same thing.
Doug Flutie. Now, Doug Flutie didn't have a decorated career in the NFL like he did in the CFL.
Right.
But still. And he was also like 5'8". So
when you guys picture Warren Moon, what uniform is he wearing?
The baby blue.
Yeah.
Houston Oilers.
No question.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Because obviously
Anyways,
played for other teams.
Apparently, he's got Warren Moon's endorsement, so whatever that means.
Might as well crack it out because I think he's going number 1 overall.
He's got
It's a question.
Yeah.
I think he's already been told. I think that's kind of solidified. Everyone has come to an agreement and understanding that Cam Ward is the first overall pick.
Yeah, I agree on that. I mean, look, if you're the Titans, you don't have a quarterback right now. Can you actually afford to pass up on? I realize that Cam Ward isn't what Andrew Luck was coming into the draft. I realize he's not even what Caleb Williams or Caleb Williams. Yeah, Caleb Williams. It always throws me off because I want to say Caleb Love. Caleb Williams or I know Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
But
because you think Jordan Love.
I think Jordan Love. Yeah. But when it comes to Cam Ward, he pretty decorated college career, a lot of experience. He's got all the tools. If you're the Titans, I don't think you can pass on that spot. Plus, this isn't an eye-popping draft, so you're going to trade down. It's not like what Houston did a couple years ago when they took Will Anderson and C.J. Stroud. I think the Titans probably should just sit and pick and take Cam Ward.
Second down.
According to Diana Rossini at The Athletic, the Steelers, Browns, and Vikings are interested in Kirk Cousins. If Shadur Sanders doesn't fall to Pittsburgh at 21, will Cousins be a Steeler?
No. Hell no.
No?
No. Why? Why would they do that?
Because you don't have a quarterback?
You might be right. Mason Rudolph would be your starting quarterback at this point. Well, Aaron Rodgers is still out there.
You told me that you'd rather have Kirk Cousins than Mason Rudolph.
I don't think I ever said that.
Okay. Do you want Mason Rudolph as your quarterback or Kirk Cousins? There it is.
Aaron Rodgers.
I didn't say Aaron Rodgers.
I thought you had Shadur.
Yeah, he said if Shadur doesn't go to him.
If Shadur doesn't go to 21.
Yeah. I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers. If I'm going to take a guy with a torn Achilles 2 years removed, give me the one that's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Not in the Hall of Fame of contracts.
You think that highly of Kirky?
Hell no. I think that highly of A-Rod. Both of them torn Achilles. Both of them figuring life out. Give me the one that is
A-Rod.
Yeah, Aaron
It's a wrong
Rodgers.
sport.
Well, I'll take Alex Rodriguez too. Hell.
See?
Hence the point. Your quarterback situation is miserable. Again.
Give me either one of those A-Rods. I'll take one of them. Don't give me Kirky.
I think the Steelers are Kirk Cousins' last shot to be a starter. Because I don't know if Cleveland takes him.
Oh, no. Cleveland is, they're going to run it back with Deshaun. He restructured his contract. But he tore his Achilles too.
Yeah, right. You can't run it back with him. He's done. I don't think he sees the football field again.
He'll figure it out. Or he won't. I don't know.
He won't figure it out. He'll have a lot of money, but he won't figure it out.
Kirky's going to be a Viking.
I don't think he will. Because he has to agree to it. And I don't think he's going to go. Like, Kirk doesn't like competition. Let's not forget that.
Well, it could be his last. Like, let's say he's not a starter, right?
You get it.
Yeah, I do. I totally get it.
He's not a starter. Atlanta's like, we don't want you. The Vikings are a team that he's comfortable with. KOC.
You want him back.
Yeah.
Wow.
He doesn't trust JJ as much as he'd like us to believe.
No, that is not it at all. I would
You
like
were so
to have
out
a.
on Kirky. Now you want him back.
I would like to have a compatible backup quarterback.
Marsh, I don't think Kirk will agree to a deal.
I'm saying like
that.
last resort type thing.
I don't think he will.
Well,
I
then
think
he
he'll-
ain't playing then.
Well, Kirk doesn't want to go to a place where he could get replaced.
The Vikings don't
He
need.
wants a nice, cush job where he's the guy. And there's no competition. There's no competition. And he can just do his thing. And everybody loves him because he feeds his kids chicken tenders. Like, that's what he wants.
I don't care what he wants. He ain't going to be a starter in the league next year.
He can't go to Minnesota. And the reason he can't go to Minnesota because the worst thing you can do is have a quarterback who has been there and played and had the success that he had, and then your rookie, even though he's not a rookie quarterback, if he struggles, if he has any moments where he's not performing well, Kirk, that's all you're going to hear in the stadium. So
I promise you will not hear that.
I guarantee you will.
No, they will not be chanting his name.
If
like
if JJ McCarthy
What
is
do the
struggling,
Vikings Facebook pages say? Their groups.
Everyone's
Facebook groups.
locked in on JJ McCarthy. Like, JJ
I knew
is
he
the
was in
guy.
there.
He is the guy. I don't know why you guys think he's so bad.
I think he's not. Here's why, and I want to say this with kid gloves. I want to be polite
with all
when I
due
say
respect,
this. With all due
free to
respect,
fire away.
the fact that they were actually looking to sign Aaron Rodgers should be a red flag to let you know that they don't believe in him as much as you probably think that they do. If they were actually looking to sign another quarterback, that tells you they don't trust him. If they were thinking about re-signing Sam Darnold, that is a red flag that J.J. McCarthy is probably not what you think he's going to be with that offense. That's just my personal opinion. If they thought he was the guy, they wouldn't have said anything to Aaron. There would have been no conversation about Aaron Rodgers being on that roster.
Did they talk to Aaron,
Yes.
or did Aaron just put it out there?
Nah. They came out and said, yeah, we're done talking to him because he was taking too long. So, just my 2 cents.
What do you mean he was taking too long? He wanted to be in Minnesota. They were the ones that
Said
were
they-
like, nah.
But they did have conversations with him.
I'm just saying, like, the guy who's the head coach in L.A. for the Chargers talks very highly about J.J. McCarthy.
He should. That was his college coach. That was his college coach and his college quarterback. He should talk highly of him. He won him a national championship.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna kill him.
JJ's got information on the sign stealing. He better talk nice about it.
I think J.J. McCarthy is in good hands. He'll be fine.
Third down.
Allstate? He's Allstate? They're in good hands.
No, Kevin
Oh.
O'Connell.
Oh.
Good hands. Tracy Bibb, Allstate Insurance. The Bibb agency.
Last year, as the Falcons took Michael Penix, which team pulls the biggest stunner tomorrow night?
Well, Falcons going to take another QB.
Now it'll be a tight end.
Marvel wide receiver.
Wide receiver, exactly. It'll be a skill position player.
That would make the most sense. I don't know. The Dallas Cowboys are always a team that does something that you're like, well, why did they do that?
Yeah.
They're probably gonna do something. It would be. I mean, the biggest shock would be if Cam Ward isn't number 1 overall. I don't know if a team. I don't know how this draft plays out and what the needs are. I know after 9, I don't think that there's a team that is in need of a quarterback in the first round. So the Jackson Darts, the Shedeur Sanders, if Cam Ward is already off the board, but if he's not, maybe a team jumps up. I don't know what the New York Giants do. Are they comfortable with their quarterbacking situation with Russell? I don't know.
They better not be.
That might be a place where Shedeur or Jackson Dart falls, but I don't know if you see anybody leapfrog anyone to say, I got to have this player. Because normally that's done for, top-tier quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that happens in this draft.
I forgot who said it, but I saw this yesterday on X. Because of what happened with Saquon Barkley going to Philly and the Giants needing that top back, how dumb it would be if the Giants drafted Ashton Genty.
Why would that be dumb?
They got a lot of other needs.
Well, okay, but they still need something. They need a lot of things, guys.
Which is why you don't take the running back at 3.
Carey said you should. You shouldn't.
I know, but
Take him
Carey's a
wherever.
former running back.
I said wherever he lands, that's where you take him.
I wonder if the Jaguars do something crazy. And somebody just said, I think it was Chili Water up there. It said Bears will do something dumb.
I think the Bears are in good hands.
They
now.
might be now.
I think Ben Johnson has some things figured out. They did pretty well in the offseason with offensive linemen. They know that they have to protect their quarterback. I don't know if that's a place where they draft a running back because, as you said, with the Lions, he had 2 really good ones, and it did make that offense go. That could be an interesting pick. But I just don't think that there's going to be a team jumping up in the draft to draft. I have to have this player unless Cam Ward falls, unless Travis Hunter falls. For me, those and Abdul Carter, if one of those 3 guys are not taken in the first 3 picks, then you could see a team say, okay, I got to have him.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's trying to move back.
Yeah.
Because the draft is not top heavy at all. So teams are trying to get as many picks as possible. What if everybody's trying to do that? Then the market sucks. All right, final one.
4th down.
Speaking of Ash and Genty, better bet Genty falls out of the top 10 or Shadur Sanders falls out of the first round.
Ooh. Can I say neither?
No, you have to choose.
I would say Ashton Genty falls out of the top 10. I don't think Shadur gets out of the first round because the Pittsburgh Steelers are sitting there at 21, and there is no way in hell if he makes it to 21 that Pittsburgh doesn't draft him. You are in need of a quarterback. You got 2 elite receivers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers also need offensive line help, but I don't know if you're getting that upgrade on the offensive line at 21 when you can get a game-changing quarterback. So Ashton Genty falling out of the top 10 would make more sense to me than Shadur getting out of the first round.
I agree. Because I think that if you're the Giants or the Browns and Shadur Sanders is falling, let's say he does get past Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's in love with Kirky football. He falls.
Trade back up.
You trade back into the first round like the Ravens did for Lamar.
Correct.
Remember, Lamar was not their first pick that year. I think it was Hayden Hurst.
Isn't that unbelievable?
And then they went back into the first round, took Lamar. So I could see a team do that with teams in the later first round because they don't have an abundance of needs, obviously, because the roster's pretty good. So I don't know. Going to be very interesting tomorrow night in Green Bay for the NFL draft. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Is Jordan Kyrou the key ingredient to the Blues' offensive turnaround? We'll get into that next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. After a 10-4 win last night, the Cardinals lose today by a final score of 4-1 to the Atlanta Braves. They'll take on the Brewers this weekend at home. We talked earlier about today's game with Brad Thompson. If you missed that interview, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. Speaking of interviews, we'll talk with Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht at 4:30 and Blues head coach Jim Montgomery at 5:30. Speaking of the Blues, Game 3 tomorrow night against the Winnipeg Jets. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 7:30. Puck drop is at 8:30. Is Jordan Kyrou the key ingredient to the Blues' offensive turnaround? We'll talk about that next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I thought Jordan Kyrou was the best St. Louis Blue in the first game. There's times that when there's a really good player on the other team, if you can get a hit on them like that, you force them to kind of decide whether they're okay with taking that kind of abuse. You're basically saying, how much do you want it? Do you want it so much that you're going to grab your soul as it floats away and put it back in your body and keep going? Or are you going to kind of scale back a little bit? I thought Jordan Kyrou scaled back a little bit.
Wow, kind of like the cut of this guy's jib. Sean Reynolds, everybody. From Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
I wonder how many playoff games he's played.
Jamie hates him. But I like when you're talking about the body leaving the soul, right? And when it comes to sports, you've got my attention.
I'm all for it. And we talked about it when Jordan Kyrou got hit. He did kind of search. It is soul searching. You're looking for air.
He was trying to find.
You're looking for anything soul searching. You're searching for your soul,
a friendly face,
someone to help guide you to where you need to go.
Hold me.
But he did get back up and he did keep playing. I think that's the most important part. Like I think, and I do think, like I've taken some shots. And my thing mentally, I got hit in the ribs one time, and I was sure my ribs were broken. But I wouldn't let anybody know that. Like, I just, there's something psychological about someone giving you the business, hitting you as hard as they can, and you just powering through it. Even if you can't breathe for 30 seconds, you just power. You don't give them the advantage of knowing that they just literally took something from you because he did.
So you
but
got
Yep. And you play one more play, one more down and back, and then you go in the back and die, and then you come back to life. That's the only way you can do it. You can't die in front of them because now they got it in their head. Yeah. Oh, I can kill him. He can be hurt. He can be hurt. So there's a psychological part where if you do get hit, you get the fast lane up and you keep playing. And it's hard. It is a mental grind to do that because I literally thought I was dying. Ray Lewis tackled me one time. I felt my ankle swelling in my shoe. It was the horse collar tackle. I thought I almost broke. I got back in the huddle. I played another play, and then I jogged to the sideline. And my ankle, I'm like, I went to the bench. I said, it's broke.
Size of my thigh.
I could feel it swelling in my shoe.
Your shoes getting tight? I had the same thing.
Like, it's broke.
I was reaching for a puck to get it out of the end on a penalty kill. I was playing for the Islanders at the time. We're playing against Philadelphia, and Eric Lindros, who did not like me, he's a large man, like 6'4", 235, skate as fast as like anybody. I'm reaching, and I had to get low, like to get it. And as I got low, he threw a hit into my head, straight crushed it on the boards.
Yeah.
And then I remember getting to the bench, and I felt like I was I skated to the bench, didn't let him know he hurt me.
Yeah.
I got on the bench, and I was almost panicking because I could feel my head swelling. And my helmet was getting tight, and I was like yelling at the trainer, "Give me a bag of ice." He goes, "For what?" I go, "Everything." So I'm sitting there holding 2 ice packs on my head, thinking that my head is swelling.
Yeah.
It was bad, but went out there next shift and probably did something stupid. But yeah,
that
Probably you don't remember.
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter.
That's the game I drove home and got home. I was home for like 30 minutes.
How do we get home?
And I asked my ex-wife at the time. I said, "Hey, how did we get home?" She's like, "You drove." I was like, "Oh, well, why don't you get me a beer?" You didn't have the information.
Kids, keep you awake. Don't let you sleep.
Kids,
we didn't have
take
the
injury, take head injuries very serious.
Yes,
Yeah,
That's what Uncle Jamie says.
If you're Jordan Kyrou and you get hit like that, again, don't let them know. Don't let them know.
No.
Like, and it sounds psychotic, but that is the God's honest truth. You have to play through it.
Yeah.
Play through the physicality.
Oh,
you have to let them know that didn't bother you, it didn't impact you, and you go out there and maybe you hit somebody next time, even if that's not your game, but give it back to them, or get one of your guys that do that. Braden Shen, hey, punch him in the face for me. Like, somebody help me.
Well, Shannon did go out and he hammered their captain.
There you
right
go.
After that,
So but you cannot, if you're
Shouldn't
going
have
to
been
be
standing there.
if you're going, and the Blues need to do that. We talked about how to stop Kyle Connor earlier. Do that to him. Make his soul leave him, and he has to go search for the bench on autopilot, trying to figure out, is this, what color are we this tonight? Okay, we're this, let me go to this bench. Because I don't know which color I am, but I think I know that's my teammates over there.
I feel like they're waving me over.
I feel like they're telling me to come this way, but I'm not really sure.
So to get back to the Jordan Kyrou hit, though, guys, whether you think he played great or that after the fact, he played through it. Mm-hmm. Like he did. I don't even think he missed a shift, and he was back out there playing. So you got to tip your cap to the player at that point, because like Carey said, he got up, he couldn't breathe. It's a horrible feeling. He got to the bench, he got the oxygen back in his lungs, and yeah, the Jets knew at that point they hurt him. I mean, sometimes you can't help it.
Correct.
You can't help it. It is what it is. But he went back out there and played again, and to me that said something about Jordan Kyrou, not just as a player, but as an individual and his character, and he was back out on the ice. He's going to play again tomorrow night, so that's great. That's a good thing. Now, to Carey's point, yeah, you got to give it back. And you don't have to focus on Adam Lowry or Tanev or Niederreiter. Those guys, or Luke Shen, those guys, no matter how hard you hit them, they're getting back up and they're playing anyways. Those are character guys. Kyle Connor, probably a character guy, but why don't we find out?
Yeah.
Why don't we find out? Somebody get him. Ring his bell a little bit. Let's see what he's got.
Run into him. See if he's able to withstand it and keep playing through it. Because, again, it is a physical game. The playoffs turn it up a notch. It's going to be intense, and guys have to continue to play hard and go through it no matter how hard you get hit, how hard you get knocked down. You got to get up, and you really don't want the opponent to know that they got the best of you.
Yeah.
Somebody says from the 618, Jamie, come on. He was 0 after that. He crapped himself, and he will do so tomorrow. 618, I don't know what you do for a living. I don't. However, I would challenge you. I would challenge you. No, he's got a 618, so he's Illinois. Maybe he's a Blackhawks player. But I would challenge you to take a hit like that from a man who's 6'4", 235 pounds at full speed like that. It is like a car crash with no seatbelt on.
It's bad, man.
It's bad. And then let's see how you react. You can't call a guy out when, come on, man. You haven't walked a mile in those shoes.
Bottom line is, though, regardless of the hit, he has to be one of, if not the best player for the Blues if they're going to get back in the series. Robert Thomas, a little banged up. We know that from the final game. No Dylan Holloway. You can't rely on Jimmy Snuggerud to score every goal. He's still a rookie. He's still figuring things out. Same with Zach Bolduc.
Or Oscar Sundqvist.
Or Oscar Sundqvist. Like Jordan Kyrou, who had a really good game in game one. Like, he's got to be that driving force and get past this whole physicality thing.
He'll be fine, guys. He'll be fine. He played the friggin' game. He came back. If a guy would have wussed out, missed half a period, went to the locker room, I'd be talking differently. We want to zero in on Jordan Kyrou? Fine. Who else produced? Jimmy Snuggerud was the only guy who produced a goal. And I'm not talking to you, Marsh. I'm talking to everybody who's wanting to chirp Jordan Kyrou. He has to bring more offense. So does Pavel Buchnevich. Right now, your two top scorers, you know who they are? Justin Falk and Cam Fowler. Yeah. So that's not good enough. So all of those forwards, top 6, top 9, have to bring more to the table offensively.
Marsh, I want you to say your piece, because what I'm seeing right now,
I'm not mad at Marsh,
is a volcano.
No.
I need you to say your piece. I want to hear it.
More like a science project volcano.
Either way.
I kind of just said it. Like, to me, he needs to be that guy. He's your leading goal scorer on the season. He needs to, if the Blues are going to get back in the series, I think we need to have like a Jordan Kyrou game. And I thought game 2, now the Texers might be overblowing it maybe a little bit, maybe not though. He did play a little timid. I'm hoping that in game 3 tomorrow night, he says, you know what, fast lane that. I don't care. It's part of the game. I'm going to continue to do what I do best, and that's make plays and score goals. They're going to be running around trying to hit me, but I have speed. If I don't have a lane, I can chip it by the defenseman, get in on the forecheck, grab that puck off the wall, and do something with it instead of just playing a little bit of a little timid hockey. I saw a little bit of that in game 2. Hopefully that's not the case, though. Jamie thinks that it won't be.
I would push back a little bit. And I understand why you would say that, but go back and watch every game Jordan Kyrou's played this year. He's not an aggressive guy. He's not. And the problem is the Winnipeg Jets were not giving up the middle of the ice to anyone. So anybody out there kind of looked like they're tiptoeing through the tulips, including Booch, Thomas, all those guys. But we do zone in on Jordan Kyrou for several reasons. He is a game breaker. He has the potential to turn a game on its head. Mm-hmm. And he has not been able to do that yet this playoff series. And he took a big hit. So we focus even more on him, as I did calling the game because I wanted to see how he'd react. Mm-hmm. I didn't see like a massive drop-off. I just saw one of many who couldn't produce offense.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Don't forget, we got Blues Jets Game 3 pregame right here on 101 ESPN starting at 7:30 tomorrow night. Puck drop on the Blues Radio Network at 8:30. We'll be live at Enterprise Center from 2 to 6. BK and Ferrari will also do their show live at Enterprise Center tomorrow. Ronald Acuna had some interesting comments that he deleted on Twitter following the Brian Snitker non-benching of Jared Kelenic. How important is it to keep your star players healthy is what CD wants to know. That's next on 101 ESPN. If you're remodeling your kitchen, choose your designer wisely. Go with Mosby Building Arts. I couldn't recommend them any more than I have before. I love working with Mosby Building Arts. Don't have modeling regret. Collaborate with Mosby Building Arts. Their designers create a outstanding kitchen. They work with you, and it's not just kitchens. It could be bath. It could be anything, really. It could be maybe maybe you want to do a new office or a basement. Mosby Building Arts, they can do it all. They're designers, work with you, work with your style. It's not just their style. It's not a one-size-fits-all project for them. Mosby Building Arts does a great job of making sure that you're happy throughout the entire process. That includes not adding extra pricing along the way. You've probably worked with some bad remodelers before, some bad remodeling companies where they come in and they give you this low quote early on, and then in order to finish the job, they start to say, well, once we got working, it's actually going to cost you more. No, not Mosby Building Arts. They got honest pricing, high quality work, designers with great taste. Don't risk hiring the wrong team. Call Mosby Building Arts, the right remodeling company, at 314-909-1800, or visit callmosby.com to schedule your free consultation today, and you can see the difference for yourself. Again, it's Mosby Building Arts. to tease that last segment about Ronald Acuna, and then after we went to break, Carey and Jamie just looked at me blankly, and I knew I had said something wrong. How important is it to keep your star players happy?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
You want to keep him healthy.
You also want to keep him healthy, which is what I said.
Oh, you're fine.
But in this case, he's already hurt.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So by now, I'm sure a lot of people already know this, so I'll briefly update you if you didn't. Ronald Acuna, who's been out because he's recovering from the ACL injury for the Braves. Jared Kelenic, one of his teammates, didn't hustle on a play, and Ronald Acuna went to X, which is always smart, and he said, I would have been benched on that play.
I don't think you meant that it's always smart to go to X or Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. Yeah.
The fact that you said that was great. It's always a great decision.
It always makes sense to go to X/Twitter,
especially after a few makers.
And start mingling.
The worst time to do it.
Start mingling.
It's the best, actually.
So Ronald Acuna tweeted out, I would have been benched.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably has a point. He was benched for the same thing. There was also, I think Marcell Ozuna was benched for not hustling at one point. Yeah. And I think there was another Latin player on Atlanta that Brian Snicker benched. It's not funny, but kind of funny. But not funny. Yeah. And I think that was Ronald Acuna's point. Yeah. Like, well, what's going on here? Now, Brian Snicker said, I didn't really see the play.
Did you not see it? How did you not see the ball hit? You're not watching the game? Did you turn your head?
Maybe he's doing something else. Yeah, maybe he turned his.
You just turned your head.
Know.
You didn't see, and you didn't see the player get thrown out.
Look, it's not me.
No, I'm just asking.
I'm not Brian Snicker.
So, what we ask is, how important is it to keep your star player happy? Because Ronald Acuna is clearly their star player. He's injured. He's been out. He tore his ACL last year and has missed time. Hasn't played in the game. Probably return, I think, next month or maybe in June. But he is your star player on a team full of stars, right? For him to say that, now he deleted the post, and as you say, it's probably a great idea. Not so much to go to X after you're frustrated. Don't do that. Don't type it out and say.
Don't go to the coach.
Don't hit.
Go to Twitter.
Go to the coach.
Don't say the quiet part out loud. Keep the quiet part quiet, and then talk to the coach.
Yeah, he should have, but he's not wrong. Right? Because he was benched. That Marcell Ozuna was benched. And so you do wonder, hey, I told you what Mike Tomlin said. I treat everybody fairly. I ain't going to treat everybody equally. If you're going to call out anybody and you call out your star, well, damn it, you got to call out everybody.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what Ronald Acuna Jr. was saying. And we've seen this. Brian Snicker has been there for 10 years. I think they said he's been in the organization for 49 years or 39 years, something like that, for a long time, 40-plus years.
That's a long time.
In the organization, 10 years as the manager. So he has built up. And maybe Brian Snicker has softened in his ways and said, it's a mistake.
Maybe there's a way to handle a sad player.
That's what happened to Coughlin.
Yeah.
Tom Coughlin, when the Giants players, I think, was it before the first Super Bowl?
I think it was the first one. I think it was the first and the second one.
I know they went to the first one. The Giants players went to Tom Coughlin when he was their head coach, and they said, "Hey, dude,
slow it down.
Like this is a lot. Like you're, back down, ease up a little bit." And he did. He actually took what they said to heart, and lo and behold, they wound up having a good season. They snuck into the playoffs that year, and then wound up winning the Super Bowl. I think more than, and CD, I understand what you're saying in keeping your best players happy. But I think you do that by treating everybody with respect and making sure that everybody knows this is the way the Braves play, right? We talk about the Cardinal way. This is the way we play as the Braves. Now, if Snicker made a mistake, it's important for him to address that and take accountability for it and say, look, I actually did miss it. Still, this is something that has been brought to my attention, and we're going to handle Jared Kelenic here. But to Jamie's point, and I think to your point too, CD, with Mike Tomlin, not every player is motivated by the same thing.
Correct.
You can't speak to every player the same way, or else you're not going to get the same results. We're talking about different human beings from different backgrounds, from different countries.
But the standard should be the standard.
Should be the standard.
You don't have to cuss out every single player. You don't have to get in everybody's face and go after every player, because every player doesn't respond to that.
Right.
Some players have to be explained, well, why or this. But the standard is still the standard. Like we hustle if you're not going to hustle, if you think it's a home run and you get thrown out at second base because you were jogging, come sit down next to me and think about it for the rest of the day.
Right.
Because I've set that standard
Absolutely.
for our best player, so there's no way that our second best or our third best or our fourth best player, that standard doesn't fit for him as well.
Right.
Then that's all. That's what I think, and I think that's what Ronald Acuna was saying. Hell, if I'm, and he wasn't. This was 2019, so he was still a young player. If I'm the face of the franchise and you did that to me, you damn well better do it to the guy that ain't the face of the franchise, because that's the standard that you have set.
Mm-hmm. So I agree with all that. However, here's where my thoughts go: is he's the boss. He'll do it however the hell he wants. That's why he's the boss. So when Ronald Acuna wants to call out the boss because, well, he would have benched my ass, I said, if you got that much of a problem, you walk into the boss's office and you say, hey, man, you created a standard here, and you're not holding this guy to that standard. Why is that?
Right.
Now the boss can say a couple of different things. He can say, it's none of your damn business, walk the hell out of here. Or he can explain as to why he's handling it a certain way. Or he can say, you know what, quite honestly, I didn't see the whole thing, so it's hard for me to act in that moment.
Right.
And
you're right.
And we will address it. It'll be differently, but we will address it. But he's the boss, Carey.
Is he?
He is. Well, okay, then who's the boss?
The man with the gold makes the rules. The man that's making the most money, generally speaking. We watched it like you.
What are you talking about?
We can.
Player is the boss?
The players are always in charge of what's going.
So Ben Roethlisberger was the boss to Mike Tomlin.
Jamie, in a certain, what I'm saying is not the boss, but
you just said that.
Snitker is he's the manager, but the person making the money, he's going to have to make sure that he's comfortable. You can't win without the best players.
If the players are running the team, you're in trouble, man.
I'm not saying the players run the team. I'm saying your job as a manager, as a coach, is to make sure that everybody is aligned and doing what they need to do. It's not it's not my way or the highway. That's not how that works.
That's one way he could handle it.
But that's probably the worst way that he could handle it.
But is it worse than going to Twitter?
No, I'm not saying Ronald Acuna is right either.
I know, but I'm just saying.
To Twitter, but
I'm not putting the power in the players' hands.
Him going to Twitter was wrong, but what he said was not wrong.
But say it to the manager.
He
Don't
did.
be gutless.
He just said it to everybody else.
Yeah, but that's gutless.
Snicker saw it. I guarantee you.
Of course he did. And they end up having the conversation they should have had to begin with.
And then that's a learning process. But I'm the boss and I do it this way. I don't think that works.
I'm sorry. If somebody goes to Twitter, if I'm the boss or I'm the coach and someone goes to Twitter, the next day I'm telling that guy.
More than you,
I don't care. I'm telling that guy.
No.
We see it differently.
Not if he's making. If you're making $5 million, $3 million, and he's making $25 million,
Carey,
you're not really the boss.
I will die.
You're just the person that is in place until somebody else takes your place.
And so is the player.
Not when you're making $25 million.
Eventually,
and he's making 17.
Eventually, you become irrelevant as the player too.
At some point,
yes, at some point, just like the manager.
But as a player and front office, they're tending to lean towards the player that makes X amount of dollars. Especially, now, how many people know? How many people you think
Carey,
show up to see Brian Snitker show up and go out there in the seventh inning to pull to call a bullpen reliever?
How many
to come
people
out to
do you
the
think
game?
criticize Brian Snitker when something wrong happens?
All the time. That's part of the job. But they're not coming to watch him. They're coming to watch Matt Olson and Marcell Ozuna and Ronald Acuna Jr. and whoever else, Michael Harris II. They're coming to watch them. They don't give a damn about
need one
Brian
person
Snitker.
That keeps them all together.
That's his job. But it ain't a my way or the highway job.
Well, I played it for a guy named Scotty Bowman, and it was his way or the highway.
He's one of the greatest coaches to ever do it. That's apples and oranges.
If you're going to talk, listen.
That's a difference,
because
though.
we had,
and it was what year?
9 Hall of Famers on the team who made lots of money.
And he's
way
one of
more
the
than
greatest,
Scotty Bowman.
He's one of the greatest to ever do it. There is an exception to every rule. Brian Snitker ain't the exception to that rule. Scotty Bowman
your
probably
way
is.
It just fluctuates depending on who it is.
Depending
Instead
on
of a hard line. Like you had a hard line 2 minutes ago.
Depending
now you
on
don't.
who it, because there is an exception to every rule.
Well, then we can just keep moving the goalposts all day long.
Keep moving them. I like football.
Well, you guys done.
Yeah.
To clarify, Jamie, you didn't die on a hill. You died in a pet cemetery on a slab.
I'm willing to do it again.
And they brought you back to life.
No, I brought myself back to life, actually.
It was ripped open. It was the whole thing.
We got a
Having a cigarette
message.
in the corner.
Got a message from Tanisha in the Snake Pit. Is there going to be a gauntlet today?
There wasn't going to be. Marsh and I were canceling it, but then both these guys
Listen,
just
Tanisha.
decided to.
Carey and I had
Take a
some
break.
things we had to work out.
Yeah.
Well, you figured it out?
Nope.
Okay.
Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN. 4:08. Carey and Jamie. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler.
Sorry about that.
I'm not.
Let's bring in Josh. What's up, Josh?
Snark and stick it.
Yo, what up, Anthony?
How are you, man?
Oh, not too bad. Back in St. Louis. A great day. Listen to you guys live.
Well, appreciate you. Thanks, Josh. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing today. Would you like to take on Marsh, Carey, Jamie, or me?
Give me that old firecracker, Jimmy Rivers.
Oh, all right.
Oh, all right.
Could have done without old, but that's okay, Josh. I appreciate it anyways. Good luck, buddy.
Absolutely.
All right.
You too.
Jamie is on his way to the cone of silence right now. Josh, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
So, Marsh, spin that wheel.
Josh, what are you hoping for?
Give me hockey.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, the wheel will know if you didn't mean it.
I tried something different.
Wow.
Ooh, we haven't had this in a while.
It's been a while.
Random.
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. All right, so
That'll work.
Josh, you got random. 4 random questions to you. Same 4 random questions to Jamie Rivers. Thank you, Marsh. Each question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready? Josh, you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. Question 1. Which of the brass instruments has the smallest mouthpiece? Which of the brass instruments has the smallest mouthpiece?
Trumpet's pretty small, right? I'll be missing something. Give me the options.
The French horn, the mellophone, or the trombone?
Trombone's big. What was the second one?
I'll give them to you again. The French horn, the mellophone, or the trombone?
Let's go the mellophone. Never heard of that.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Question number 2. Where is Tiananmen Square located? We'll accept the city or country in this instance.
Repeat that.
Tiananmen. Where is Tiananmen Square located? We will accept the city or the country in this instance.
It's got to be Europe, right? Options.
Is it Dublin, Ireland, Berlin, Germany, or Beijing, China?
Let's go with Ireland. Final answer.
Question number 3. Who was Amelia Earhart's navigator on her last flight?
Boy, random's fun. Options.
Options are Pete Mitchell, Fred Noonan, or Charles Lindbergh.
Lindbergh. That sounds like it should be right. St. Louis, right? Yeah, let's go with Lindbergh. No. A, final answer.
Pete Mitchell, final answer.
Yeah, we'll go with Pete.
All right, Josh, final question. Whose national soccer teams call Rungado First of May Stadium home? This venue boasts a staggering capacity of 1,400.
Options.
South Africa, Australia, or North Korea?
South Africa. Final answer.
All right, let's bring back Jamie. Josh, how you feeling?
Man, sometimes I rock random in the car. But not good.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
All right. Jamie, welcome back.
Yeah, that was really fast.
Okay.
Like, that's either really good or really bad for me.
We'll find out right now on the Gauntlet on 101 ESPN. Your category is random, Jamie. Random.
All right, let's party.
All right. Question 1. Which of the brass instruments has the smallest mouthpiece?
Give me the options.
The French horn, the mellophone, or the trombone?
I was thinking French horn. It really was, but I don't really know all my brass instruments. French horn, final answer? Ish?
Question number 2. Where is Tiananmen Square located?
Tiananmen Square.
We will accept the city or country in this instance.
Oh, I'll know it when I hear it, I believe. Give me the options, please.
Berlin, Germany, Dublin, Ireland, or Beijing, China?
Beijing. Final answer, please.
Question number 3. Who was Amelia Earhart's navigator on her last flight?
Oh, boy. Options.
Options are Pete Mitchell, Fred Noonan, or Charles Lindbergh.
It was not Lindbergh. Who was the first one?
Pete Mitchell.
I'll go with Noonan. Mitchell. Noonan. Noonan, final answer.
Final question. Whose national soccer teams call Rungado 1st of May Stadium home? This venue boasts a staggering capacity of 114,000.
Yeah, good old Rungado. Options, please.
South Africa, Australia, North Korea.
Okay, Rungado. So you said Australia?
South Africa.
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
North Korea.
I'm trying to say it in like that language to see if that makes any sense. Rungado. Was it South Korea?
South Africa, Australia, North Korea.
North Korea. Final answer. Is he? You have a soccer team there?
Let's go over these. Which of the brass instruments is the smallest mouthpiece? With the options, Josh said the mellophone. Jamie said the French horn. Correct answer is
The French horn.
Jamie up 1-0. Where is Tiananmen Square located? We will accept the city or country in this instance. Josh took the options. He went with Dublin, Ireland. Jamie took the options. He went with Beijing, China. Correct answer is?
It is Beijing, China.
Jamie up 2-0. Who was Amelia Earhart's navigator on her last flight? Josh with the options went with Pete Mitchell. Jamie went with Fred Noonan. Correct answer is...
Fred Noonan.
Fred Noonan. Jamie up 3-0.
Pete Mitchell is Maverick from Top Gun.
Yeah. He may have given her
Maybe.
Yeah, we don't know.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure Pete Mitchell was friendly with Fred Noonan and Charles Lindbergh.
What's your favorite movie?
Whose national soccer teams call Rungado 1st of May Stadium home? Josh went with South Africa. Jamie went with North Korea. Correct answer is...
It's North Korea.
Josh.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
Josh, you got you 4-0, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all good. 4-0. Those questions were
They were tough.
Not
Josh.
Not great.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Very difficult.
It's all good. I'm glad you guys had me on. This was fun.
Well, we appreciate you listening, man. Thank you.
And congrats. He's getting married.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes, sir.
When's the big
next
day?
Week, we're pumped up.
Next week?
I just wanted to say, I listen to you guys like every day. I'm out in Denver, so I'm never live. I'm always listening to you guys like a day later. But I probably heard every episode the last 4 years, so that's awesome to be on.
Oh,
That's
dude,
awesome,
thank you
Josh.
so
Thank
much.
you,
Yeah, we
man.
appreciate it.
Good luck, buddy.
Enjoy your big day.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right,
Take
bud.
care, boys.
Take care. You too. That's awesome.
That was great.
Boy, I know that Jamie beat him 4-0, but I'm really glad you didn't get him, Marsh, because that was one of the nicest human beings
It would have
that
been 8-0.
graced these airwaves.
I don't know about 8.
Oh, you'd have got. There would have been some like bonus question on there. You probably would have gotten 12-0.
Like which pitcher on this date
Yeah.
in 2005 went 10 innings and gave up 0 runs in a 1-0 victory against the Houston Astros?
And that would have been.
Mark Mulder.
There you go.
Pitched 10 innings.
Yeah. This kid. I mean, he
knows his stuff.
Well, I saw it on Twitter.
They built them different back then, you know?
Yeah, they did.
They really did.
Well, congratulations to Josh. Again, one of the nicer human beings ever.
Congrats to you too, Jamie.
Yeah, nice job, Jamie. 4-0.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Congrats.
The only one I truly knew was Tiananmen Square. That's it.
Well, you know, it goes down 4-0 and a dub. Anthony Becht joins us in about 15 minutes or so But we're going to get into Bet the Board next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Carey Davis, and if you're looking for a new car, then look no further. You need to go to Genesis of St. Charles. They have the largest selection of new Genesis models in stock ready for you to take home today. They're Missouri's first and only standalone Genesis dealership. Stop in and get some of the exclusive in-store offers that they have. Experience luxury at their brand new facility located at 5601 Veterans Memorial Parkway in St. Peter's, right off of Mid-Rivers Mall and Highway 70. Genesis they have the deluxe lounge, and it's the best coffee I've ever had. I'm telling you, if you don't do anything, go in there and just see what they have. Some of those cars, I said yesterday, they have massaging seats. Imagine driving for 20, 30, 40 miles, 45 minutes, and getting a massage on your back, your lower lumbar. You will enjoy the ride as well. So visit them today. If you're unable to stop in, go to genesisofstcharles.com, and they can get you taken care of. If you're looking for a model, the make, the whatever you need, they can help you with that. They can help you build the dream Genesis of your own. Visit them today in St. Charles, off of Mid-Rivers Mall in 70, or visit them online at genesisofstcharles.com.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, and Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. Less than 10 minutes, we'll talk to Battlehawks head coach Anthony Becht, who joins us every Wednesday. Time to bet the board. Marsh.
Yes.
What's your latest standings on this?
Anthony, you have 12 points.
Nah. Stupid Braves.
Really?
What?
We're mad.
The Cardinals won.
Yeah, they won one game that I picked against them.
You should pick against them more often.
There you go.
I did last week when the Phillies beat them.
Yeah, well, whatever. You have 12 points.
Thank you.
Us three have 9 points, so we're a little bit behind you. It is possible that we could catch you.
Oh, it's very possible.
Did I lose yesterday? I didn't get mine, did I?
You did lose because Marcelo Zuna walked.
He
four
walked.
times.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, come around and score. Huh?
Yeah.
Why are there no prop bets on the Edmonton LA game?
Oh, because they know you're cheating. Dodgers. Give me the Dodgers. I'm getting back. I'm getting right. I'm getting right. Dodgers plus 116 tonight against the Cubs.
Props, Anthony, and they're not showing them.
Okay. Give me the Dodgers plus 116.
You know what? I don't care about your damn Dodgers.
They're not mine. They're Carey's. They're Carey's Dodgers. But if Major League Baseball is going to allow them to win every game, then I'd be stupid not to take them.
They don't win every game.
None of these games have props.
Oh, man.
What site are you on?
I'll go with...
The site.
I'll
You know
go
your
with
site.
My site.
Shohei Ohtani, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs.
Can't find any prop bets.
Minus 120. That guy's pretty good, Anthony. Maybe we can both. You know?
Who are you taking?
Shohei.
Oh, great.
He
He
in the
probably
lineup?
won't play tonight.
You're going with the Dodgers money line, huh?
Yeah, plus 116.
Even though they lost to the Cubs?
Oh, hang on.
What?
Didn't they lose to the Cubs last night?
No,
Yeah.
they beat the Cubs.
No, they lost.
No, they lost to the Cubs 11-10. Yeah,
lost
so
last night.
I like them even more. It's a rebound opportunity.
I'll take the over in the Edmonton LA game tonight, over 5.5.
Really? Now, why are you going that route? Because they scored 11 goals the other night?
Maybe.
Okay.
Jamie just found it.
Yes!
He found what he's looking for.
Got on my Circus Sports Illinois app here, and they got me covered.
There you go.
Yeah. Connor McJesus to record a power play point at plus 135.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Look at this, Anthony, right here. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
See,
That's
harsh.
That's right here, Carey.
Nah, I'm
Looking
good.
at
You don't want to see.
Marshy.
he's got one for everybody, apparently.
Got one for everybody.
So I got two hands, but
You
he's
can't
got
see.
apparently one for everything.
You can see. I ain't lifting it any higher. Unless you want me to.
Oh, no. Forgot we're on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it that time. You saw it that time.
I was
No,
getting
you
my
saw it.
paperwork together.
Is that the same thing that you showed Carey when he was on the road?
Yep.
Yes, it is. Carey loved it.
Nah, I was road raging.
Still one of the funniest things ever.
I was road raging. Because I worked on my aggression.
101 ESPN is your shot to score a pair of tickets to the first ever Big League Bash featuring Adam Wainwright on Sunday, July 27th at the Factory. Join Adam Wainwright for an unforgettable evening of music, sports, and giving back to support Big League Impact. Plenty of live music, including a headlining performance by Waino, plus special appearances by St. Louis Cardinals players, a visit from Fredbird, and more. Find all the ticket details for the Big League Bash now at 101ESPN.com or text in to 314-399-9646, which is the Air Comfort Service text line. Once you hear the question, if you're the 101st texter to the Air Comfort Service text line with the correct answer, you'll get 2 tickets to go see Adam Wainwright perform. Here's your trivia question. Jamie Rivers was awful to an NHL team. He told a story earlier today in which he was a big jerk as a prospect to one NHL team.
Yes.
What was that NHL team?
Well, Anthony, you should know.
Text in now, 314-399-9646. Again, Jamie Rivers, big leagued a NHL team during the pre-draft process. Didn't want to go to one of their camps. Jamie Rivers, a hockey player, talking to hockey teams, thought it was ridiculous that this hockey team asked him to go to a hockey camp.
What state was that in?
What team?
It's in,
What was the camp at?
Brainerd.
No, the camp.
Oh, the camp
was
was
in Brainerd, Minnesota.
Yeah, Brainerd,
camp was
Minnesota.
in Brainerd, Minnesota.
Yeah. So if
The
you
team
have that correct answer.
There's no girls there.
If you have the correct answer, text in the Air Comfort Service. All right. Anthony Becht is next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. We are going to get to Coach Anthony Becht of your St. Louis Battlehawks here shortly. Also, a little show note, Jim Montgomery, who was scheduled to be on the show at 5:30, will now be on the show at 5 o'clock. So tune in to that. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there. That's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We do have Anthony Becht coming up at some point. He's still on the field, though. So Anthony Becht, head coach of the Battlehawks, hopefully about 4:45 today. We'll get a chance to talk to him. Cardinals lose today to the Braves. It was another bullpen day. Or if you want to look at it, it was a bullpen day and an offensive day because he only scored one run. Alec Burleson did have 3 hits on the afternoon, but Cardinals couldn't muster up much against Elder, the starter for Atlanta, and then the Braves bullpen did an outstanding job. They didn't allow a run in their 3 innings of work. Miles Michaelis pitched well, went 6 innings, scattered 6 hits, but did not allow a run. Walked 2, struck out 2 through about 89 pitches. John King came in, though. He gave up a run. Jojo Romero was assigned 2 runs because Ryan Fernandez gave up a home run to Eli White that still has not landed. And it's 4-1. 4-1 loss for the Cardinals. So offense stunk, bullpen implodes again, and that's your Cardinals as of right now. It's not a great trip to Atlanta, boys. Similar to how it wasn't a great trip to New York, although you did get a win in Atlanta. That's big.
It hasn't been a great trip to anywhere.
Well, you lost 4 in New York. You lost 4 in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
Then you traveled to
South.
Then you traveled south to Atlanta, Eastern.
Yeah,
Eastern time zone. Stayed in the Eastern time zone. And lost again. Yeah. So you're now 2 and something on the road this year. 2-10.
That's not good.
They got work to do. I think. So this is something that I think is very important, and we often talk about players getting opportunities, and I think that they're going to keep giving guys opportunities. I don't know if we caught the tail end of it after the game. It sounded like Ollie was saying he would like to get Fernandez in some lower leverage situations instead of, high leverage, game on the line, 1 run ties the game, 2 runs takes the lead, whatever the case may be.
Did he forget in Memphis?
Did who forget in Memphis?
Ollie. When he was speaking.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Oh. Lower leverage in Memphis? I don't think that's what he meant.
No?
I think he meant with the ball club, with the big league club. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Yep.
Just to get him back right.
I'll write that down.
Okay, write that down. Just to get him back right. I think this is who you are. This is the team that they have, right? This is a team that I don't know that you always want to win. You want to figure things out and find ways to win. But I think getting guys experience and seeing what you have is going to take precedent over wins, which probably feels terrible to say out loud. What'd you say earlier? Saying the quiet part out loud? You probably shouldn't. I just did.
If you're Ronald Acuna.
Or if you're anybody in the Cardinals front office.
True.
Probably haven't said that, but maybe that's what they feel. And you have to give guys opportunities, and eventually it's on the play. Like you can critique Ali Marmol every single decision that is made. Ryan Fernandez is a Major League Baseball player. His job, he is. He's on the team. He wears the uniform every day.
Carey is wears
the uniform.
He don't wear pants.
Yeah, he don't wear pants.
Or cleats.
It's
He's not in
inappropriate.
spikes. He's inappropriate.
He's wearing high tops.
Don't get mad at me.
I'm just saying.
They gave him a uniform.
So He is a professional baseball player. It is his job to not allow runs, to not allow hitters to get on base, to not walk people, to not give up moon shots that still haven't landed. The same thing with Jojo Romero, who got in before him, who gave up a couple of hits. That's your job. And if you're not doing your job well enough, at some point, someone's going to tap you on your shoulder and say, hey, I appreciate what you've done for us, but this is where we're going from this point on. So, you just have to – they're going to get their opportunities. If they don't make the most of it, they'll be trying to figure it out elsewhere.
The problem right now for the Cardinals, and BT even said it when we had him on here, is like he didn't say it directly in not so many words. He said, well, what else have you got?
Right.
Like, there's nobody tearing it up down in Memphis to make you believe, like, let's bring up player X, Y, or Z because that's a better option. The only thing you could do, and I'm sure the Cardinals don't want to do this, based on the fact that they're trying this transition youth movement / development route, is bring one of their starters and play them as a bullpen arm. They brought up Graceffo and did that to him before. I wonder if they would dip their toes in that water again.
Yeah.
Didn't we talk about this, though? Matt's was in the bullpen yesterday, wasn't he? So
he
we
pitched
talked
yesterday.
about that.
He was fine,
Him
actually.
being
He was.
him would that kind of throw some things off with him being the sixth starter and not having an extra arm in the bullpen. I mean, I guess you can. It helps. I don't know how you guys just got to play, man.
No, Carey, you're
Guys
absolutely
gotta
right.
play better.
You're absolutely right. Because whether you're in Memphis or you're with the Cardinals, all joking aside, all like sarcasm aside, you're given these opportunities on a team that is trying to figure things out on the fly here. They're trying to retool.
Right.
So you're giving these opportunities. If you don't knock in the door when those times come, then you may be without a job.
Correct.
And if you're in Memphis right now and you're watching what's going on right up at the big league level and you're not putting things together, then shame on you.
Correct.
You're absolutely right. This is an organization right now that is trying to figure out what it has because a new dude is about to take over. In Heimblum, and he's going to come in without attachments to any of these players. That's what happens. You're absolutely right. So if Ryan Hernandez stinks and he's still up here, it's because the guys in Memphis are not kicking in the door when they have those opportunities. Which is
problematic too.
Which is a huge problem.
If you don't have a young guy or even a mid-tier young guy that is at a point where you can call him up to take somebody's job,
it's
then
bad.
That's not great at all.
No.
That's a bigger problem than what you got up here.
I agree. Yeah, because now it's an organization problem, not just.
What's deeper?
Yeah, it's not just a 26-man roster
Like if you've got some depth
problem.
in the minors, then you can send a guy down, bring a guy up. You're fine because you have that depth.
Right.
If you're in a spot right now where you're Ollie or Mo or whoever the hell's running the team, where you can't send a guy down because there's nobody there to take his place, that's the bigger issue.
Agreed.
314 says, what happened to you, CD? You're defending the Cards way too much.
What?
Yeah, I'm a Cards fan, fellas.
Told you, ever since you got probed.
It wasn't cloned.
Probe.
It's a cloned probe. It's different.
Way different.
No.
It's way different.
No. Maybe that's how they clone.
I wouldn't know.
That's true. That's a good
You
point.
never know, right?
Could be a combination. Tee off for the morning after at the return of the Dotem Golf Tournament presented by Michelob Ultra, May 29th and 30th at Oak Valley Golf Course and Resort. Get your foursome together for a full day out on the course with TMA, which includes complimentary breakfast from Donut Drive-In, lunch from Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, all your Michelob Ultra, the 100 West Dental closest to the pin competition, and an after party with food from Texas Roadhouse on Thursday and Super Smokers Barbecue on Friday. Registration opens this Friday morning at 8 a.m. with a portion of proceeds benefiting the St. Louis Hero Network in honor of Brian McKenna. Find all the Dotem information now at 101ESPN.com. We hope to be joined by Anthony Becht to the Battlehawks coming up next. If not, we'll dive back into the Blues here on 101 ESPN. Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum is where we purchased our brand new Pathfinder. We got a pre-owned Pathfinder there too because they've got great deals. Forget about overpaying at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. They have vehicles that are priced to move. Plus, on new Nissans, you get a complimentary lifetime warranty and a 30-day return promise. So you're talking about serious peace of mind as soon as you drive off the lot. Forget about having a scavenger hunt too. You go out to other dealerships and maybe you search online first and you're looking at certain cars that you want to test drive, and then you go out to that same dealership and you're like, hey, I'd like to test drive such and such, and they're like, nah, that vehicle's actually at our different location in Texas. No, not at Auto Center's Nissan Herculaneum. Their vehicles are all in one spot, and we're talking about 800 new and used vehicles all in one location, one massive location out in Herculaneum at right off I-55 in McNutt, just minutes from South County. When you head out there, tell them Stalter sent you, but do start online at autocentersnissan.com. That way you can peruse all the vehicles that they have. Again, over 800 new and used vehicles at Auto Center's Nissan. Big inventory, bigger savings, zero nonsense.
Talking Battlehawks with the head coach. It's time for Anthony Becht's Call-In.
Presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken, home of the Battlehawks box.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by the head coach of your St. Louis Battlehawks, Anthony Becht. Coach, how are you today?
All is good, guys. Good to be on.
Well, we love having you on, Coach. We know it's been a couple of rough weeks. Anything you want to say about your starting quarterback, Manny Wilkins, going down, just in terms of his hard work that he was put in? I'm sure that was devastating for the team.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, anytime something like that happens, especially in the first series, and obviously we had that outcome where the ball just kind of is dangling around when he kind of gives himself up, in my opinion, and it gets taken back for a touchdown. It was just kind of a combination of just everything. But, just Manny's in my prayers. Obviously, he had his surgery. That was successful. Got that done already. And, it's tough. He did work hard. He knows this was just kind of his final chance to really show. And honestly, I was excited about the opportunity for him to, rectify the game before. And, the plan was good. He put a lot of work into that week. And obviously, not being able to play after the first series was tough. But, listen, for us as a team, we just, we got to respond and bounce back. And we have great practices, the guys, the vibe, everything's good. Obviously with Max now stepping in, getting a full week of practice, it's incredibly hard in our league because there's 0 reps for the backup. We don't run a lot of reps in general. So, you visually can listen, watch, but you don't even get the full gamut of visual because, we just can't, rep these guys as much as we can because of preserving their legs for the game. So, it's been a good week. He's working hard, and he'll be much more, prepared in his mind to go out there and play great. So, again, all of us, we have to kind of rally around him and also play better across the board. And we can't turn the ball over, guys. 9 turnovers in 2 weeks. We didn't have any in the first 2 weeks. That's not going to win a lot of football games, and that's not really what we've been. So, we got to clean that up. And if we do, we're going to have a really good chance of playing really well here this weekend.
Coach, before the season started, we talked to you about your quarterback situation, and you said at that point, it's still kind of an open competition. Obviously, Manny became the guy, and it is extremely unfortunate that he suffered the injury that he has. So next man up, it sounds like Max is going to be your guy from now on, or is it still kind of an open competition for you?
Yeah, no, Max is going to get every opportunity to go out there and lead this football team. He's earned that. Chevin Cadero's on IR with his hamstring, so he's not available. We did sign Brandon Silvers back from last year's team. And, Brandon's kind of an older veteran pocket passer that, knows our system. If something were to happen to Max or, just kind of, takes a dramatic turn for whatever reason, he has the availability to come in and run our offense, really at full octane. So, at this point, I'm excited for Max. He gets a great opportunity. He worked really hard in the offseason. It was a really good training camp for all 3 quarterbacks. And, again, now he gets a full week of practice, full week of reps. And, it's going to, it's like he's his first start, right? So, we love him to come out and be lights out. But we also know, we're trying to really, feature what he does really good and kind of, keep our system in place and add some things, pull some things to make sure that he feels comfortable in his first opportunity. So that's why I said a lot of guys around us, around him have to play better, step up, do their job a little bit better. And if we do that, we're going to have a lot of success.
Anthony, you talked about the turnovers. Just talk to me how frustrating it is. You all had 3 turnovers that led directly to points, and not to get your defense on the field in those chances, in those situations on 2 of those. How frustrating is that when you don't even get a chance to get your defense out there to stop the team that is scoring points?
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, obviously we don't want any turnovers. We know the numbers and the probabilities as those turnovers happen. And, look, if there's a way that, they're not scored and the defense has to go out there, I expect our defense to hold them to a field goal if they're on our side of the field. So, I think the defense has been really good. We gotta keep them off the field a little bit. We gotta, put some drives together. I think we're 5 or 4 for 16, 5 for 16 on 3rd downs. We got to move the chains. I think the one thing, that's glaring, guys, to me is in these last 2 weeks, in the 4th quarter, we're down by 3. We're in field goal range in the 4th quarter 2 weeks ago. And, we turn the ball over, and we have an opportunity with the best kicker in the league to tie that football game up and put a little pressure on D.C. We never did that. And then, obviously, we drove down the field last week with all the ups and downs that we had, and we had 4 chances at the 5-yard line to score touchdowns. So, we got to make plays. And in those moments, we have to finish football games. And if we do and we eliminate the mistakes, it's going to look a lot like we want it to look. But until we do that, it's going to be difficult. So, again, these guys need to respond, and I think they will this week, man. we've had good practices, like I said, and it's a great vibe right now, and guys aren't panicking, and neither am I, quite frankly. Like, we see it, we coach it, we give them the whys, and they have to fix it, and then we got to put them in good positions the upcoming game to make plays.
Anthony, you talked about the backups not getting many reps, and obviously Max was not able to. He was thrusted into that game and did the best he could do. How different is the offense with him under center as opposed to Manny Wilkins?
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, he can run everything we can do. I think he's a harder runner than Manny. Manny's obviously very elusive, athletic. Max is a little bit more, he hits it a little harder. He'll put a lot of pressure on the edge. You're going to have to worry about him in the run game, obviously. And in the passing game, man, he's kind of a one-speed guy, one-speed thrower. One thing I do know about him that he's been really good at in his career is his deep ball, his fade balls, and things of that nature. So, we're going to try to mix it up. We got to stay ahead of the chains, guys. 3rd and plus is not going to be an ideal situation for Max and really our football team. We have to do much better on 1st and 2nd down. And, I felt for the most part last week, at least when he came in early, I think he started 4 for 4, a little bit of a rhythm. But, again, we just had too many stalls, and we weren't able to take and maximize some of the field position that the defense gave us. So, again, we got to be better there. And I think, like I said, having a full week of practice should help.
Anthony Becht, head coach of the St. Louis Battlehawks, joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Coach, anything that you saw from the last 2 games out of your team that wasn't there in the first 2 games? And you broke down a couple of things that you'd like to see moving forward. But was there anything uncharacteristic about your team the last 2 games that, again, didn't show up in the first 2?
Yeah, I would say, outside the turnovers, guys, I think, with the players in this league and me and Carey playing a long time in the NFL, these games are going to be close, okay? You got to be able to weather the storm. So if a guy makes a mistake, if you drop a ball or you miss a throw or you miss a tackle, you got to be able to turn the page really quick in this business and, get back into it and have another and don't make it a bad play 2-3 times in a row. And ultimately, if you do weather the storm, like I said, guys, all the stuff that happened the last 2 weeks, you're still in a position in the 4th quarter, if your mind's right and you stay the course, that, you have an opportunity to tie, take the lead, or whatever that may be. So, for us, man, we just, teaching our guys, listen, it's not going to be all, 33-6 or 30-0 games. I mean, those things are anomalies. And as teams get better every week, these games are really close, and it always comes down to the 4th quarter. So, if you weather the storm, don't make the mistakes, and believe in what you're doing and trust the process of the flow of the game, you're going to be in a good position to win. So, we understand that now. We just got to go out there and do it and finish the deal. If we do that, we'll be in a much better place.
All right, Anthony, I'm going to shift gears because tomorrow is the NFL draft, and your New York Jets select 7th overall. Who they taking? Who you want them to take?
You know what? I'll tell you that. Obviously, there's a Mizzou tackle that's really good. I forget his name. I just know he's a really good player. I think he'll be available. I think you got to, really upgrade your offensive line, continue to add pieces. That would give them a really good, strong, young line that they can really build around for the coming future for Aaron Glenn. And then after that, listen, they need a tight end that can the playmaker. There's a bunch of tight ends coming outside of Warren. That's really good players that can really help an offense. And then again, you just got to fill needs and find guys. Surround your quarterback with options and weapons. They do have a lot of weapons in the backfield. They have some receivers, and then load up on the defense. You lost DJ Reed. Probably going to have to find yourself a young corner to kind of get into the mix there as well. So I think they go offensive line, honestly, at 7. That's where I would go. I mean, again, if you don't have the trenches, guys, you're not going to be able to get a pass or anything done at the receiver, quarterback, running back position. So, yeah, definitely, I would say tackle if the best one's available.
There you go. There you have it. Former Jet, Anthony Becht, first rounder.
Yeah.
Give me a little Jets preview.
You notice he said tight end, right? Yeah. I did see that. I pay attention, Anthony. I hear you.
In a minute now, there's only, since Mickey Schuler in the late 80s, who was the most touchdown catches at the tight end position in Jets history? That's me. So we gotta get some guys. No one's been able to eclipse my 17 touchdowns in a long time. So they're looking for guys that can make a difference, and definitely in the red zone for sure.
Good stuff. Well, Coach, go get them. Moving forward here. We appreciate you. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next week.
You got it, man. Hey, love it. Love the fans. Love you guys. Appreciate what you guys do for us. We will bounce back. We need the fans there. It's going to be a great game on Saturday, and we'll get this ship turned around.
Absolutely. We believe it. Yep. All right, Coach, thank you. We'll talk to you.
All right, guys. Take care.
He said ship. Right?
He did say ship.
Yeah, ship.
But he said the other one.
Honestly.
Yeah, he did the last week.
He did last week.
All right, Jim Montgomery, head coach of the Blues, next on 101 ESPN.
with the head coach of your St. Louis Blues, Jim Montgomery. Coach Monty is presented by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN 502, your time check. Brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Super Bowl champion Carey Davis and former Blue Islander Canadian Senator.
We know.
Jamie
People
Rivers.
can Google it, Anthony.
I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by the head coach of our St. Louis Blues, Jim Montgomery. What's up, Coach?
What's going on, guys?
Well, Coach, I got to start off with this. Your love by the outfield. Always a fan favorite of yours, or how?
Freshman year in college. Oh, boy. I had the jean jacket pop, walking into the frat. I had the guns pointed out. I was ready to roll.
Coach, I gotta tell you, like, to me, that whole situation, I'm like, that's my coach right there. He is calm. He's cool. This is exactly what I want a head coach to be, because that's the way your team's going to play too.
I agree. I think you got to be who you are. The team does read off of, the coaches. And I think if we're relaxed and being ourselves, it instills confidence in them. And we've played well, but we haven't played well enough.
Coach, talking to a couple of the guys on the team, your veteran guys, the former Stanley Cup champions that still are on your team, kind of getting the vibe from them, and they seem pretty calm. Not relaxed, like, oh, everything's okay, but they certainly don't. I don't get the impression like anybody feels like the walls are caving in. Do you get the same feeling from your team?
Absolutely, because, what I loved today is I had 3 separate conversations. One with Shen, one with Thomas, and one with Buchnevich. And they were organically, they just happened. And we were talking about, things we're going to try and do and the things that they're seeing. And, and it's, when you're talking like that, you're real close. And, hey, we're a comeback team. We came back in the regular season. We put ourselves in a hole in the playoffs. But we did in the regular season. Now we got to do it in the playoffs.
Coach, you all went 11-7 last game to take advantage of some matchups. Did you get the desired effect out of that? And did Tyler Tucker bring that physicality that you wanted him to bring as well?
Well, Tyler's always going to bring that physicality. That's why we love him. I mean, when you look up definition of a St. Louis Blue, he's not in the dictionary yet, but he's going to be. And then I think that the matchup part, I just remember like some face-offs that I was able to get in the D zone and in the offensive zone. I was like, well, see, this is in my head, I'm like, it was a favorable matchup for us. It didn't come to fruition, but it could.
So, Coach, a lot of talk throughout the whole series, but in particular the last 24 hours or so, about you guys getting to the inside, more plays at the net front. And it's easy to just say that, and I understand what that means, and you understand obviously what you're talking about when you tell your players these things, but for some of our listeners, they don't really know what that means or what it looks like. So from your perspective, what does that mean when they watch the game tomorrow night, if they can see the Blues are playing on the inside or not?
Well, I think the easiest way is that if we cross their blue line with possession, that we have at least one Blues jersey, if not 2, driving to the net inside the dots, which is where the face-off. You want to be inside those dots where going towards the net. And I think the second part is very similar, is that anytime we have an anchor at the net front, we need to send that puck there, and the second guy needs to come from a high, whether it's a defenseman or the forward with the puck, he's got to put the puck at the net, and our other forward needs to be inside the dots, going downhill towards the blue paint. That's how we're going to be able to get secondary chances and extend ozone time. It's what, to me, it's been the biggest difference in the series, is that Winnipeg has been able to do that in the third, and we haven't.
Coach Jim Montgomery joins us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Speaking of Winnipeg specifically, how difficult is it to try to match up with a specific opponent yet you know what you guys do well. Right, you're trying to strategize for that exact opponent, which, oh, by the way, is won the President's Trophy this year. But you also have certain things that you know as a team you want to do. How difficult is it to balance that for like a game plan?
It is a balance because you always want your team to play to their identity, and if you do that, you're usually going to dictate the pace and territorial advantage. But there is some things that they do really well, like they protect their net front inside, below the tops of the circles and inside the dots extremely well. So we got to figure out how are we going to possess, where you can possess and also penetrate those areas, because you got to penetrate those areas if you're ever going to score.
All right, Coach, there's always changes throughout things in a series, and we saw today at practice that Texier skating alongside Sundqvist and Bolduc. Is this something we can expect to see tomorrow night?
Well, I thought he did a good job there today in practice. I'm not committing to anything, but more than likely he will be. He has the ability, as we've seen throughout the year at the Winter Classic, and there was a game in Detroit where he just comes down the wing and he lets a snapshot go and he can beat a goalie clean with no screen. He has the ability to protect pucks down low and escape away from trouble and carry the puck to the net and make a high-end pass or shot. So those are things that, with the way we haven't been scoring 4 goals in 2 games, we need to look at ways to augment it, and we think he's someone that's going to help us with that.
On the flip side of that, Monty, their big line has done most of the damage for them in this series. In particular, a guy like Kyle Connor. What can you guys do as a team to kind of, nullify some of that? Because obviously he's going to be a huge part of this series.
Yeah, well, when we look at the 2 game-winning goals, those are the areas that has been an area of strength for us defending. And obviously he's a high-end player. We need to be more aware of him and Scheifele, because I think Scheifele's been really good too so far. But what we got to do is be who we are. And that's why that question earlier ties in so well. Like, we protect the house, and we've done a pretty good job. But when you're playing against some of the elite teams in the league and you have players like Scheifele and Connor, they don't need much to get grade A opportunities. And, we just need to be a little bit sharper there.
Coach, last one I've got for you here is I got to tell you, from a broadcaster / spectator standpoint, watching those first 2 games, the physicality was incredible. I mean, it reminded me of a late 90s playoff game. Now, when you're watching that, though, is there any concern for you as a coaching staff that your team can kind of hit themselves out of the game, or do you just kind of keep that going, keep that physicality going? Because as the series goes deeper and deeper, some of that can play to your advantage.
Yeah, we're not going to stop. I mean, we're coming to hit you.
I love it.
And it's because just like what you're saying, we want to invest in the series. And we weren't physical enough last game compared to the first game. And we got to get back to how physical we were in the first game, and we will. We're going to have a lot of juice tomorrow night. The Blues crowd at the Enterprise Center brings us a lot of juice.
Coach, I can't skate a lick, but if you need somebody hit, let me know. I got a few left in me, man. If you need me, call me.
All right. Well, I'm not talking about OJ, not that juice.
And be careful, that stuff will kill you, Coach.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Well, on that note,
didn't have that on your bingo card, huh?
No. On that note, Coach, go get them tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys.
We'll talk to you next week. Thanks.
See you, Coach.
See ya.
See ya, Monty.
That's Coach Jim Montgomery here in the Fast Line on 101 ESPN.
Listen, he said, we're not stopping.
Yeah, I love that.
Immediately.
Sign me up.
Yeah, no, we're not.
I wish I could skate. I would love, there's times where I need to hit somebody.
Carey, you did see what happened to Kyrou.
Yeah, whatever. Hey.
I think Carey will be all right.
I think I'd be all right.
I'm going to tell you something. It happens to everybody at some point.
Everybody gets smoked at some point.
You do.
I mean, it might look like a baby giraffe on snakes, but on skates, but
On snakes too.
snakes too. Yeah. Either way.
Who's that guy out there without a stick? He's just mauling everybody.
Why is he wearing shoes with cleats?
Sign me
That
up.
can't be in the rule book, get it?
That guy's got a football helmet on.
He's wearing a Steelers jersey.
Oh, man.
Just running people.
Yeah.
All right, Sports Six Pack is next. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you got a question for us, send it there. Sports Six Pack Part 1 next.
All right, if you have a remodeling project coming up or you're thinking about it, especially your kitchen, your bathroom, or that outdoor living space, please call my friends over at E&B Granite. They're the best in the business, by far. They have unbelievable selection of countertops, backsplashes, cabinets, and whatever your budget is, they're going to maximize that for you. You're going to get the best product for whatever your budget is, and then the in-house design staff, they're phenomenal at what they do. I remember going down to the facility at 6135 Manchester Avenue, walking and not knowing at all what I wanted to do with my kitchen. I just knew I wanted to upgrade it, and I wanted to look new and fresh. And I told them, I said, I want it to look like it's in a magazine. And the in-house design staff said, we got you. And showed me some options. We picked out countertops, backsplash cabinets, flooring, everything. And then the technicians did a magnificent job. It looked so good that I took a picture. I remember posting it and saying, man, look at this. And people were wondering, who did that for you? And I said, E&B Granite. You got to go visit them. If you can't get there in person like right away, then book an appointment. So you make sure that you get there on their books. Tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. That number is 314-645-9300. Again, that's 314-645-9300. Or you can always visit them at enbgranite.com.
question.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, Andrew Marsh with question 1. Please.
Question number 1.
All right, from the 636. Guys, I'm going to hop on the bandwagon of depressed St. Louis sports fans.
Whoa.
Number 1, the Cardinals bullpen specifically sucks. Number 2, looks like the Battlehawks lost their starting quarterback. And number 3,
That's why they signed 3.
the Blues are playing well, but look lifeless in the third period so far in the playoffs. Okay, despite all of my negativity, what should I be optimistic about with each team? Let's polish a turd, fellas.
Oh, okay.
You got Max Duggan, who was second in the Heisman voting a few years ago when he was at TCU and led his team to a national championship.
Right.
And you heard Anthony.
The game.
They
finished
in the
third.
Game, yeah.
They played in the game. He led them to the game.
Yeah, well, you said he led them to a national
I'm
championship.
sorry, led them to the national championship game.
Yeah.
That's better.
Excuse me.
Carey.
My apologies.
We'll let that one out.
And we think they were there.
They were there. The team. Well, that's another story. But we heard Anthony Becht say, second quarterback doesn't get many reps.
Yeah.
Corrected. He's going to get all the reps. They'll be fine. What was the other one?
He wants just something optimistic on every team.
Cardinals.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Blues.
Okay, Blues. You just heard Monty talk about they're not going to stop this physicality. It's coming your way. Deal with it or don't. You're going to get dealt with. That's the part of it that he said, and I'm excited. I wanted to run through the microphone. I wanted to run to where he was to be where he is to go play the game tonight if I could.
Hit people.
Lots of people.
A lot of people. So you should be excited about that, right? The Blues are at home, Enterprise Center, going to be rocking, jamming, no worries. Okay? All right, what's question 2?
No. The Cardinals. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Cardinals.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, question number 2. I got one.
Oh, you got one?
The starting staff is slightly above average, and your offense still has really good numbers.
Question number 2.
And they need to pitch 8 innings.
Clearly, Carey.
636.
Sorry. Wasn't part of it.
Okay.
I'm taking my wife to the game tomorrow, so my question is, in layman's terms, what's the most important thing that my wife should watch for since it's her first playoff game?
Offsides.
Offsides?
Yeah, offside.
Why is that?
Because it's a myth. Nobody really knows what it is.
That's in soccer, Anthony.
Oh, that's right.
You know offsides is pretty...
Yeah.
pretty
In
clear.
soccer, it's a myth.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
That's why they scoot all the way up, and then if you're behind them, they put their hand up. You're offsides.
Right.
Why the hell are you all the way up here?
Yeah. Let's just do stuff where it creates less offense. That's super smart. Anyways, the Blues. Jamie, first thing to look at. First time hockey fan.
That's what to look for at the game?
Yeah.
Playoff game specific.
Gentleman's taking his wife tomorrow night. She may not be, I don't know.
Well-versed?
Well-versed, yeah.
The first thing to look for is so much, especially in playoff games. She's going to be completely overwhelmed, which is great. That'll mean that the atmosphere is great and the game is fast and the physicality is there. I would just say, outline to her, say, hey, honey, the NHL is physical, but playoffs is like twice as physical. Watch the amount of body checks that happen in the first period. And that's something that you don't have to know the rules. You don't have to process offside or shots on goal or grade A chances. You can look at the physicality and go, okay, there's a lot of dudes running into another bunch of dudes. This is kind of cool. And every time somebody gets knocked to the ice, everybody gets up and screams.
Yeah.
I would say look for the St. Louis team to put the puck in the net more than the Winnipeg team.
Well, that would be nice for sure.
And that you do that. That's called a winner, Anthony.
If I may, don't say anything. Don't tell her what to look for. Wow. Let her make the observation.
It's a good.
Say after the first period, honey,
and then
what did you notice?
Yeah, say, hey, What do you think, Cedric? She may come with something that,
I like the way he tapes the stick. It's cool.
Okay,
I like
let's not
she said
let's-
they pass tape to tape. Now she said,
She might.
"Hey, tape to tape. Passes.
Chris snapping the biscuit tape to tape, honey.
That's right.
Like, oh, boy.
Just let her observe.
So this kind of happened to me the other night. I was watching Game 2 with Rachel, and she's been to games before. She's seen hockey, but I told her this is going to be a little bit different. I'm excited to watch playoff hockey with you because it's intense. She's like, oh, okay, whatever. So we start watching the game, and then, we all watched it. There's hits everywhere. She's like, what is going on right now? This is insane. She's like, this is like a football game.
Darn right.
I go, this is awesome.
But tougher.
Much tougher.
Much tougher.
Well, maybe playoffs.
Much tougher than any football game ever in life.
It was awesome. It was fun.
Good. Awesome.
She did tell me yesterday, though, that she likes the Maple Leafs because of their jerseys. And that really bugged me.
But you love classic jerseys like
You
that.
are a jersey guy.
I'm sorry, sweaters. You love classic sweaters like that.
Don't like the Maple Leafs.
But you
it
can
is a great
appreciate.
jersey.
You can appreciate the.
No, they're fine. They're good.
It's a very well-defined leaf.
100%.
good.
It's a
cool.
classic. It's classic, right?
It
they've
is,
had
yeah.
a few different iterations of it.
This is the best one.
I agree. The Leaf is the best. This Leaf.
He said the Leafs are the best.
No, I did not.
Clip that.
He actually said leaf, so he's talking about a specific leaf, maybe
Leaf?
a Craig Berube or
Austin
an Austin
Matthews?
Matthews.
I'm a Leaf Erickson, right?
Leif Eric.
Oh,
What about
yeah,
Ryan
sure.
Leaf?
Gotta like that guy.
No, I told her, though, I go, the Leafs are the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL.
So she got it. She knew.
And she still continued to root them on.
Or the Vikings, quite honestly.
Nah, don't do that
No,
to
but
him.
I'm talking about in terms of like annoying fan base that hasn't really done anything lately. Like the Vikings fan base are fine.
Yeah, I like the Vikings.
Oh. Who are the Vikings of the NHL?
The Vikings of the NHL?
Yeah.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Yes, that's actually a
bang
really
on.
good.
Like making the playoffs
Just a
consistently.
really good
just
regular
not
season
doing
team. Just
anything.
can't do anything in the postseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I like it.
Question number 3.
Who are the Cardinals of the NHL?
Let's see who's out of the playoffs.
Rangers.
Honestly, it could be the.
No, the Rangers spend a lot of money.
Good call.
I don't want to say the Blackhawks.
No. It'd have to be a mid-market.
Cardinals
Pittsburgh?
did win 3
What about Pittsburgh?
in the last
Pittsburgh,
decade.
because they're kind of stuck in like they're not sure what they're doing mode.
Yeah.
Boston
Or
Bruins.
I don't know. Boston.
They just
They had some stars on that team.
yeah.
We had some.
What? I was thinking out loud, I guess.
Droid Effect says Hurricanes have a cup. No, Vikings wouldn't work.
But a 2006 Cup.
Yeah, like recent Hurricanes.
20
but fair,
years.
Droid. But fair.
Whatever, Droid.
Who would be the Cardinals?
It'd have to be a team that's stuck in the middle. Like that, they're not in a rebuild. They still have
Yeah.
some old players.
But they have like a winning
They don't have like a
pedigree.
superstar player at all. Like the Islanders, maybe, are the Cardinals. Close to being in the playoffs every year, but not in. Like,
There was a stretch run there where they were like flirting with Eastern Conference final almost every year.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, whatever.
all right.
It feels gross, so yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
Okay, the water boy. I asked earlier this year which career Marsh and Anthony would rather have, CD or Jamie. So Jamie and CD, whose career would you rather have? Anthony with his Central Michigan chips, love for the Sharks, and bouncing around 69 different cities. Or Marsh with his Big Sky hockey career. I don't know what that means. Love for the Vikings and always beating up nice guys.
Are they? Is your school in the Big Sky?
They were in football, but they're in the NCHC.
In hockey?
It's different.
It's like
And I never played.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
So,
you're gonna say something when I say this because I know what you're gonna say. I'm going Marshy because he's younger. That boy time.
there it is again.
It makes sense. Yeah.
There it is.
Makes sense. Yeah.
He's younger.
Yeah.
What would you give to be 29 right now? See? Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
My spleen.
Hey,
See?
hey, he feels 29 because he's got mentality.
There you go.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Let's see here. Yeah, the age thing kind of works against you.
It does. Yeah. I don't blame you.
No offense, but we kind of know what you are at this point of your career. We don't know what Marshy is.
Which is fine.
It's been great.
I got a high floor.
It's been great.
Ceiling, though. Marsh.
You don't know, right?
Ceiling's pretty
Still
high. Yeah, no, hey, guys, I can respect
Call
it.
me in 5 years, maybe it'll be different.
Yeah.
But, draft and develop.
Sure.
You gotta go
No, I'm with you guys. Yeah. I'm with you guys. Plus, you don't want to be told after asking or telling the coach who you were and have him look you dead in the face and say, no, we got you at second base. It's the Mac, but they can still run up here, son.
Oh, man.
Okay. All right. So second base is over here. Way over here if you need me.
By the way, a few people are saying the Red Wings are the Cardinals of the NHL.
That's not bad either.
Yeah, maybe.
Really strong fan base, beloved fan base.
Championships a long time ago.
Championships a long time ago. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yep.
The Red Wings' last Stanley Cup was around the same time, give or take a few years, Cardinals' last World Series. So
it's 08.
Oh, wait. Well, it's in between the Cardinals. 6, 11?
Yeah.
8? All righty. Why don't we continue our Sports Six-Pack with part 2? 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line, so keep those questions coming in. Part 2 of the Sixer next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, one of the things I love about our guy Stewie is that when we say, hey, call this number, 314-324-4440, that's the number that you used when you were looking for and found your home and wanted to get closed quickly, get closed within 2 weeks, secure that loan. You got multiple different businesses and stuff like that. You had different things that were going to be a challenge, and Stewie handled it all for you. I called him recently with a couple of questions myself. You and I both use that exact same phone number, which is great. He wants you to call his personal cell phone number because he wants to give you that old school customer service feel.
Yeah, that number again is 314-324-4440. Give him a call, whether it's purchasing a home, debt consolidation. Maybe you've got a lot of debt and you're not sure and you're paying all these different things off. Stewie can consolidate that. He's got some great ideas. Refinancing your home right now, maybe the rates are a little bit lower or maybe you should wait. Whatever it is, Stewie's going to give you the right answer for that, and then he's going to follow up with you. If it's like wait down the road, Stewie will call you. He earmarks it, call you 6 months. By the way, the rates are lower. We should refinance this. Use the bag loan because you got no interest, no lender's fees, none of that stuff. And we can get you closed in 7 to 10 days. That's what it's all about. So please give him a call. Again, that number, 314-324-4440. If you can't remember that or you can't write it down right now because you're driving, please, 2 hands on the wheel. Anthony, what can they do?
You can always Google the bag loan.
NMLS number 226715.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals lose today to the Atlanta Braves by a final score of 4-1. They'll take on the Milwaukee Brewers this weekend at home. The Blues go up against the Winnipeg Jets tomorrow night, Game 3 of this first-round matchup. And you can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 7:30. Puck drop is at 8:30. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interviews with Brad Thompson, head coach of the Battlehawks, Anthony Becht, and head coach of your St. Louis Blues, Jim Montgomery, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of those interviews and our full shows. And it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We have part 2 of our Sports Six-Pack coming up next. Get those questions into the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Part 2 of the Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is refreshed by the Finnish Long Drink, Finland's best-kept secret. A sparkling citrus beverage made with real liquor. Visit thelongdrink.com.
Part 2 of the Sports Six-Pack right now in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. By the way, somebody in the snake pit asked if Jamie won a Stanley Cup. He got himself a ring with the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, it was a weird situation, but yes.
Either way.
I was over playing in Russia, and my season ended, and the Red Wings wanted to sign me for depth going down the stretch. And so I signed with them, but I was not eligible to play in any playoff games because it was after the deadline. So I had the option of just going home because I wasn't being paid anymore or anything, or stick around for the playoff run and kind of practice every day and do that thing. So I stuck around. I was like, I like it here. I love Detroit. It was a great organization. Stuck around, practiced, did my thing, hung out, and practiced with the real squad, which is fun too. And then when they won, I was part of all the festivities and whatnot, and got a ring for it.
Done deal. Good man. Got a ring.
One way or another, you know?
Yeah.
It happened.
Hey, man, you were there.
I was there.
And you practiced.
I did. Practiced hard, too.
Question number 4.
Always.
On and off the ice.
From 636, Carey, when you were playing in the NFL, looking back, what player, you don't have to probably name this player, I know you probably won't. What player did your team draft that made you think, what in the hell did we just do?
I mean, it would have probably been a player that played my position. Man, what in the hell did they just do? Why would they do that?
That was a wasted pick.
Stupid. That was a dumb idea. I don't know that I had a specific person that made me think, oh, well, no, yeah, that did. A couple guys.
Yeah, not gonna name
I just wondered why they did that.
Well, okay. What? Because you probably not, are you going to give us the names?
Well, one is Frank Summers. He's a fullback. They drafted him out of
Oklahoma.
UNLV. Call him Frank the Tank. He's a good player. But he was hurt the entire training camp. That was one. And then there was a running back that when I was with the Falcons, they drafted. I was still playing running back at the time. I was like, oh, that's a. We already had TJ. We had TJ Duggan. We had Warwick Dunn.
And Michael Vick.
He could run.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's usually the guys that they draft that play a similar position as you.
Yeah.
Like, what in the. Why would you do that?
All right, so now I'm interested. Was it Jason Snelling?
No, in Atlanta? No, it was DeAndre Cobb. Cobb.
Out of Michigan State.
Yeah, out of Michigan State. Yeah.
Apparently,
he's a 6-rounder.
They just love Michigan State.
I think he could run,
backs.
though. I think he was fast.
Fast?
Yeah.
DeAndre Cobb. I remember him.
But, yeah. Other than that, I was like, Not really my job to worry about who they're drafting. When Pittsburgh, we did draft a lineman, and then they brought in his teammate who was an undrafted rookie. The undrafted guy made the team, and the draft pick got cut. And they were teammates in college.
Oh, man.
We didn't make it out of training camp. So that was interesting. But, yeah, it doesn't matter where you're drafted or undrafted.
Sorry about your car.
Just make plays, man.
Mm-hmm.
Make things happen. You're good.
Question number 5.
All right, this next one comes from the 618. Speaking of people's career ceilings, little reference back to part 1 of the six-pack. Do you guys really think Joel Hofer is the goalie of the future? Do you think he has a high enough ceiling?
Yes. Watch him play. I mean, this year, there's so many nights where I know the team was confident. No doubt at all. I mean, look at some of the games they put him in. He played some big games. Even during that 12-game winning streak, he played some big games. So I think he's a goalie of the future. He's a big kid. He's confident. He plays the puck very well. I mean, look around the league and compare him to any other 1B goalie out there. I think he's probably in the top 3 as far as backups or 1B goalies are concerned. So I think he has to be your future at this point.
We got a text from the 217. This is DeAndre Cobb. How dare you?
Sorry, DeAndre. Big listener.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing.
Mm-hmm. Question number 6.
Yeah, I have a question. How dare you?
Question 5.5. How dare you?
All right, from the 314. Any chance the Cardinals pivot and copy the Blues reset and add younger players at the deadline? Basically buy, but for the future, not this year. Love the show.
It obviously depends on who's available, right? But if I were the Cardinals, and I've mentioned this before when they were sellers, the players that you ultimately would want are the guys right now that are on the cusp of making it to the big leagues. If you're a contender in need of a closer and you call the Cardinals looking for Ryan Helsley, if you're the Cardinals, you want one of those players to be on the cusp of the big leagues. I don't think it makes much sense right now if you're trying to jumpstart this retool to get players that are like in Double-A, even if they're highly touted.
Yeah.
If you're going to copy the Blues model, they got 2 players
that could play right now.
That could play right away. So
if you trade Ryan Helsley, you're probably not getting that. Or
why not?
Or are you?
Well, you might get some young
getting a AAA guy that can be
a AAA guy that's blocked in the hey, look, we hate to give him up, but we are a contender right now.
Yeah, or you could get a Snuggerud or a Dvorsky, like while they're still in that college level, like they're like right there.
Yep.
And that would work out okay.
One good spring training, he makes the squad next year. Those are the players I'm targeting if I'm the Cardinals. But again, it all depends on who's available. And I don't think you have to alter your approach on this. That should be the approach, and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get something good for Ryan Helsley.
And I think if Mo or Chaim Bloom is smart or aggressive enough, I think they just go out and they offer sheet a couple of guys in the summer.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't.
Yep.
No, you can't do that in baseball?
I don't think you can.
Sure.
You can
Can't you just offer a contract to a guy that's up for arbitration?
Absolutely not.
No? Can't do that?
No.
Well, I don't like those rules.
I know. I don't either. They should change them.
Yeah. It actually would be pretty interesting to see how many organizations would do that in Major League Baseball.
It's just so different, though, the way it's set up.
What's up?
People would get paid.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so different the way it's set up for baseball with arbitration and things like that. Like most of these restricted free agents for hockey, they don't get arbitration rights until they're in their second or third contract at that point. And
wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And for the text line, I was joking about that.
Yeah. Take
you tell me how you're a sports dog, you don't know the rules. I know the rules.
Thanks, Einstein.
Yeah. Take it easy. All right, we're going to come back. We're going to tell you what we learned today. We're going to hand out 3 stars and maybe some criticisms and compliments. That's all next in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Underdog Fantasy got the extender going on, the extender promo during the NBA playoffs, so you could play your way to increasingly bigger boost each round of the playoffs. However, you got to make sure that you start with game one. So here's how it works. Start a playoff series by using your game one boost from Underdog. Continue boosting each subsequent game to unlock the next one. The longer the series goes, the bigger the boost and payouts will be for you. Underdog is the leading place to make all of your sports selections, and you can play now in your state or our state here in Missouri. And Underdog is one of the fast-growing sports game apps, and you could play when all just for $1 if you want. They've got different, you can go $1, $5, $10. It's up to you. But all you have to do after you download that app is select players, build your little pick card, and choose whether or not those players are going to go higher or lower on their stats. And one thing that I love about Underdog is that you can actually choose players from different sports. So maybe there's an NHL player that you love tomorrow night in the Blues and Jets game to score a goal or record a point. You can actually pick that player to go higher on their points and then choose a baseball player to go lower on strikeouts or an NBA player to go lower on points. Underdog makes it all available to you. And again, you can play for as little as $1 and win up to 1,000 times your money just with your hoops, hockey, baseball knowledge. So download the Underdog app, sign up with my promo code Anthony to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, that promo code is Anthony at Underdog Fantasy. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Fastlane on 101 ESPN. If you miss anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or the 101 ESPN mobile app, which, of course, is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. All the podcasts brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. You were a little early on that.
Very early. I didn't have my headphones in. That's probably why.
Yeah, but you can still hear me say Schaefer Door Company.
But
He did say it a little different, though. I'll back you up on that one,
I'm
Carey.
not crazy, am I?
Well, I was telling Jamie something right before we got on.
Yeah, you were.
That would have gotten us fired.
Yes, it would have. You.
Me. But also you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Correct.
Anyway, Marsh.
Yes.
What'd you learn today, pal?
I learned that Jim Montgomery is a big fan of the jean jacket, and why wouldn't you be? You ever
classic.
You ever walk around wearing a Canadian tuxedo, Anthony? Have you ever done it?
No.
Feels good sometimes.
I may decide to do that.
You
soon.
should.
I had a jean jacket when I was a kid. I forget, maybe 5th grade. And I thought it was the best thing ever. I went to the mall and they had, those like heat press things that you could put on the back of the jacket.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
You worked at a t-shirt shop.
I did, but I didn't get it done there. I put this thing on the back of it. It was a skeleton playing the guitar. And
of course it was.
It said, "I sold my soul for rock and roll." I wore that thing around like I was Elvis.
That's awesome. That's hilarious. Wow.
T-shirts now available.
Oh, man.
Carey, what'd you learn?
I learned that Anthony will do anything, and I do mean anything, to get Kirk Cousins off of his damn team. He'll send him anywhere.
Yep.
He'll send him back to Minnesota. He's trying to send him to Pittsburgh, the Browns,
Siberia.
He tried to get him here to the Battlehawks.
Any team other than the team that he's currently being paid by.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Well, he's fine as a backup for us.
Oh, boy.
But I just know how much he still has left in the tank.
You know what's going to happen.
He's going to get traded to the Steelers?
He's going to get traded. No, I'm not going to wish that on Michael Penix Jr.
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I wouldn't even,
You know what you'll need at that point? A good backup.
And then here comes Desmond Ritter back.
No.
The Falcons.
man.
No, they signed Easton Stick.
Even better.
Yeah.
Former Denver quarterback, huh?
Out of North Dakota
Chargers.
State, huh?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Was he in Denver, too?
probably.
He was. I think he was a Denver
That was with the
quarterback.
Chargers with Giff Smith.
Easton Stick is a hockey name.
Yes, it is.
He plays football.
Yeah. Jamie, did you provide what you learned? I know you talked about your jean jacket. But
Yeah, I learned a long time ago how much I love that jean jacket, but I learned today that Carey did not go to Hawaii. In fact, he was abducted by aliens, cloned, and sent back to us, which is why we get the certain versions of Carey these days.
Absolutely.
Nicer. Gentler version.
Yeah.
Just,
well,
you know.
What I learned is that in comparison to me and Marsh, I might as well just be dead. Because since Marsh is younger, he apparently has everything ahead of him. And me, at my age, it's basically over.
What was the movie you were telling us about? Did you ever find out the name about it where they were switching bodies?
Oh, no, I didn't.
I've seen that one.
No, not
on
that
Netflix?
One. No, not that one.
No, that's different. That's that's something else.
Yeah. Sorry.
You would switch. You would.
I mean, if I got stuck there, it'd be fine. But, you know. I don't know if I'm...
I need to know the name of the movie.
I mean, it jacked me up. It jacked me up, Carey. I'll find it.
Yeah.
Watch it with you and your girl. You'll never be the same.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Marsh.
3 stars?
Yes, sir.
It's time for the Fast Lane's 3 Stars of the Day. Presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Sports betting the way it should be.
All right, a late entry because it was so funny. Our 3rd star of the day goes out to Jamie's jean jacket.
Yes. Good.
Are you willing to sell your soul for rock and roll, Anthony?
It was a, that one was a late goal, an empty netter to give him 3. And he jumped in.
Oh, man.
Our 2nd star of the day goes out to Your Love by the Outfield.
Yes.
And our 1st star of the day goes to Jamie and Carey's epic argument that almost canceled the Gauntlet.
Yes. I thought for sure that you guys were going to keep going. And honestly, you were. And then all of a sudden, like, you guys were, passionate about it.
Yeah.
And you both just stopped.
We're tired.
You did. You tuckered out. You both tuckered out.
I'm like, all right, that's enough.
And Marsh was just observing me as I was, double Dutch or whatever, when you're trying to jump in. I was trying to get to the gauntlet, and finally you guys both just stopped. You just put down the ropes. I'm like, now it's my turn. Me? You? Me? No? Him? You? Me? All right, we appreciate everybody today. We also got a great compliment from a listener that we really appreciate. I forget if it was the 314, but
it was
314 that said that they listen even when they get home.
Yeah.
They got the earpod on and they just want to hear segments go out even if they left the car, and thanked us for talking not only about the local sports teams and breaking that all down, but also having fun while doing it. And I thought that was the epitome of what we want here in the Fast Lane. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, all right, everybody get some rest tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Because we got Blues hockey tomorrow, baby.
Do that hockey.
Game 3 between the Blues and Jets right here on 101 ESPN on the Blues Radio Network. Pre-game at 7:30, puck drop at 8:30, and we will broadcast live from Enterprise Center from 2 to 6 tomorrow. BK and Ferrari will also be out there. For Andrew Marsh, for Kerry Davis, for Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.